Hello. We are officially live now. Someone's happy about my background. He's like, I won. I got what I wanted.
I always win.
All right. Well, I can't wait for you to go on camera and share your Ava background.
Why would I do that?
Because you're an awesome friend that commits.
I don't have a camera on this computer.
All right. We'll get there eventually. So, without further ado, you want to start this up? I think, should we wait for a little bit, a few more people?
I don't know, like, I'm just, looking at your screen now. I'm waiting until people type in your chat.
Type in the chat to confirm if you can hear us. If you're here, don't say one of us.
One of us. One of us.
I'm pretty sure the only people that are going to be watching this stream are Love Live fans, right?
One of us. One of us. One of us.
I haven't officially joined anything. We're just talking about it.
It's okay. Don't actually join. Don't actually join. You don't want to join. You don't want to join. Don't do it. Don't do it. No,
with that, big recommendation.
You don't actually
want to be part of this.
No, you really don't. You really don't.
Okay.
Be a fan of the show, but don't join the fan base. That's what I'm saying.
Be part of the fan base.
Yeah.
Don't be part of the audience. Just be on the stage.
Yes.
All right. So this is technically this is part 2 of last week's podcast. Welcome to the Just Weebs podcast, officially episode 2. I'm OniMaru, your host, and joining me today is again our esteemed guest, Mr. Love Live himself. And please, I'd like a moment of silence first so we can properly introduce him. This is...
You did the right thing this time. Yes.
WatTheWut. Yep.
That's just fine because it's not start that. You picked a better song this time, so I can't even be mad.
Well, I wanted to give you a proper intro.
Yeah.
And so before we get right into it, this is going to be that type of stream. We're going to talk about all of Love Live. And last week, Ava's my favorite anime, so I kind of led that discussion. I think it's only fair that WatTheWut leads this discussion this week since it's his favorite anime. He got me to watch all of it. I watched School Idol Project seasons 1 and 2. I watched the movie. I think that was just a School Idol movie. Then I watched Sunshine seasons 1 and 2, and I watched the Over the Rainbow movie. So, without further ado,
yes.
Whoops, wrong clip.
Why are you? I thought I was streaming for a second because that's my like follow alert. Why did you do that? There we go. See, that's different.
Appropriate.
Hey guys, it's me, Idol God. WatTheWut. If you actually, I'm Idol President. I'm Idol Twit President Emperor. WatTheWut. Everybody is me. I'm the president of Love Live. I created Love Live. I am the only person who is the most knowledgeable about Love Live.
I believe it. I watched one video of his on Love Live, and now my whole feed, no matter where I go, is filled with WatTheWut. I was looking up clips from Love Live, and on the sidebar is just a WatTheWut video, just like right there. It's like, is this the only guy that's making proper analysis of this?
Yes, actually. So here's the thing that sucks, right? And because when I say this, it makes me sound like I'm jerking myself off, but like I'm legitimately the only person I think who makes Love Live analysis, and not just Love Live analysis. I would say it's good.
I mean that is a little bit of a jerk right there. A little bit of a jerk.
It is a little bit. I mean, someone has to,
I'm OniMaru. I'm new to this scene, this world. I don't know anything about the discourse. I've heard things about the fan base. How I promoted this on my YouTube community tab was, I know nothing about idol anime. So I thought, hey, why not just dive right into one of the most polarizing fan bases or, franchises, Love Live. Is that accurate? Polarizing? Divided? Like it's not the show, it's the fan base.
It's the fan base. I wouldn't like see it's even like a weird word used divided to describe them because they're not like homogenous. They're all like weird. They're all like freaking like
I didn't want to use toxic, okay? I was trying not to use the word toxic.
But they are.
Because to be fair, most fan bases are toxic.
All fan bases are toxic.
Oh
look, someone's spouting opinions in the chat.
Oh, is it AOT was great. Look forward to it. Is that what we're talking about?
No, that one. Someone said Muse is better. You know, you're fine
okay.
with that opinion, but
oh no, we're getting fighting words already in the chat. You know, you're welcome to disagree with us. We will engage you.
Except with me, I'm the only person who was right.
Anyways, so I don't know anything about Love Live besides what I watched. So again, I'm OniMaru, and all I have to say is
okay.
Exactly.
Thank you guys for coming to the stream.
You may leave now. That was it.
God, you know what's irritating is that I have like this meme, right? It's like if I click on a video about Love Live and someone says the words like, Love Live is more than snow halation and Nico ni. I click off the video because it's like we know that. Please stop. Like these things have like they're not even like the most prominent memes in the franchise anymore. They're like there's so many more. But what are you talking about?
Snow halation based though.
It is based. It's like the best Muse song. So like why live?
Before we get into like more into videos and content creation, I think we can talk about that. Let's get that into.
We will at the end. We'll talk about that at the very end because like I don't want to because that's a whole thing.
So how do you want to do this? Do you want to focus first on the first first season?
We have to go about it in order because for anybody who doesn't know this, Love Live is a series and it's. So my anime list is full of hacks because they mark Love Live Sunshine as a spin-off when it's not. It is factually a sequel in every sense of the word. Love Live Sunshine is a sequel.
How is it a spin-off? I mean, I guess because like Muse has no part in the story, they're not in it.
Wait, what they do?
I mean, like they're the basis for the story, but they don't cameo in it. The characters aren't in it. They're just kind of like the groundwork for,
it's such a weird thing, right? Because you could say it's a spinoff, but it directly builds upon the last. It's not like Nijigasaki, the latest season of Love Live is a spinoff because it's completely disconnected from anything that happens from the story of Love Live School Idol Project, Love Live Sunshine. Love Live Sunshine directly relates to the events of School Idol Project, which we'll get to with a song that's super important that like basically spells it out for you. But like the order of Love Live is really not that hard to follow. But if you want a guide to how to watch it, there's a video on my channel on how to watch it. But the order is basically as follows: Love Live School Idol Project Season 1, Love Live School Idol Project Season 2, Love Live the School Idol Movie, Love Live Sunshine Season 2, and Love Live Sunshine the School Idol Movie Over the Rainbow.
So much stuff. Yeah, I don't know. I could see the argument for it being a spinoff, but I could also see that it's a sequel because it's building on, because Muse's story at the end of season 1 is pretty much done. So it's kind of just building off of that, but it is new characters. I don't know. And it is like in the same world just 5 years later. Yeah, but Nijigasaki, you're saying is just, which I have not watched. Actually, that's not included in this. I have not watched that. So that's just completely like removed.
It's completely removed. They don't even mention Muse or Aqua at all. And I don't even know if this is like a spoiler, but they don't even go to the Love Live in Love Live Nijigasaki. So it's like not even a thing. What I'm going to address, I think, is Angel Dranger your fiance?
Yeah.
Yeah, that analogy has nothing to do with anything. That's like so wrong that it's hilarious.
Listen,
because can
we save fighting for the chat?
No, but like it's later. Literally has nothing to do. It has everything to do with School Idol Project. You can't I would even argue that you can't even fully understand School Idol Project until you watch Sunshine, because the lesson isn't done until you watch Sunshine. Like the theme doesn't come full circle until you get to Sunshine, where it builds upon it.
I really want to get into that. I actually really am interested in talking about the full theme, like of both series by the end. But again, I think, like you said, let's take it in order, and talk about like what's the theme in the first one, and sort of just thoughts on the first season and all that, and then we'll get to that.
God, man, your fiance, did she watch the show with her eyes and ears closed? Like, seriously, how did you think at all that it's the same plot?
Hey,
like,
listen,
episode 8 literally spells out for you that it's not the same thing. Anyway,
you're gonna have to let this one go. You're not gonna win.
Just gonna let it happen.
You're just not gonna win. So, continue.
Yeah. So, I remember talking to you. You said that you didn't want to get into Love Live because you just didn't have any interest in it.
Yeah, I didn't.
Yeah, which is
because, like, from the little that I know, I think, from like, I just didn't want to. I saw the fan base sort of like I knew nothing about idol anime or just idol culture. Just, the little that I knew is that fans are very like fanatical about it.
Yeah.
And to kind of get into it is to fall into some sort of rabbit hole that you can't get back out from. And I'm like, you know what? I'm good. I'll pass.
I mean, it's the same thing as being a fan, but like,
sort of. Go ahead.
Yeah, but like, so Love Live. So I think Love Live is a good starting point, but I think it's a weird thing because Love Live is a show itself. Even though it's technically an idol anime, the show itself asserts that like the point is that they're not real idols. So even then, it's like kind of a weird place to start because then you'll start associating that with it because I don't know. Technically, in terms of how it's structured and the way the show is, it is part of the idol genre or whatever of anime. There's other series that you can probably start from, like the Idol Big Three, which is what I'm calling them, which is Love Live, The Idol Master, and Aikatsu, which are like the three biggest franchises in like idol anime. And I've seen 2 out of the 3. They're both good.
I heard recently there's Idolish 7. That's another one.
I think Idolish 7. I'm not sure if that's the one. No, that's Side M. Idolish. One of them has like the guys and like has male idols.
I think it's Idolish 7, and they have like some. It's like they're ice skating, but they aren't on a rink. Like they're not. I don't know. They're not on ice. I don't know. It was something weird like that. It sounded really crazy.
Really, the only thing that you can define as an idol anime is if it has idols in it as a center point. That's literally it. That's all you need to define it. It's funny because like around 2017, whenever the hell like Zombieland Saga came out, everyone was like, guys, I get idol anime. This one's different from all the others. It started getting like the Ava treatment where like no one who's ever seen a mecha before watched Ava and they were like, this is different from the other mecha because it's about the characters. But like, if you watch, I think Zombieland Saga is like a good starting point. But Love Live works, and it works too. It's
actually,
just
I have a question about that. Have you watched Macross Delta?
I would have to watch the original Macross in order to do that.
Oh, okay. Because I watched Macross Delta without even watching Frontier or the original Macross. It was just kind of its own self-contained thing. And I was thinking about this recently. I'm like, was that technically like my first idol anime? Like it wasn't, because it wasn't focused on being an idol, but there were idols in it. It was a mech show.
Well, they were singing
in it. So
well, that doesn't make any sense because according to Giga, Love Live killed the mecha genre. So like, no, but yeah. See that I don't know because then there's also like Idol Master Xenoglossia, which is the Idol Master characters in a mecha series. So like, I mean, I think there's arguments to be made that Symphogear and Macross Delta are idol anime because also like I forgot if it's because Macross does have an idol in it. I like Minmay.
Yeah,
I think because I still have to watch it.
I think
there's like a bunch of old mecha that I have to watch.
She's from Frontier.
Yeah. There was like I think there were arguments to be made that like Macross did like start the push for like idols in anime or something like that.
In Delta, they're like actually a group, and then
they
kind of
so then it is
yeah.
So yeah, it would be an idol anime then.
Yeah, so I kind of that has idol elements because it is still focused on the mech, but then the singing powers the mechs or whatever. So it was cool. Yeah, and I think on another point that I did speak with a friend about it, about that is more into idol anime. She told me the same three. I've heard good things about Idolmaster always. Idolmaster, Aikatsu. She mentioned Idolist 7, and she likes Love Live, but she's defined Love Live as being at the bottom, the kind of the trash anime.
Well, we're all free to be wrong.
This is what you're used to, I imagine.
Well, see, I'm fine with any of the idol big three being like anyone's favorite, because like Idolmaster is also my top 10. So like if Love Live wasn't there, then Idolmaster would still be there. So it's like they're all good, but
Right.
I just personally like if it's at at the bottom of them, that's fine. If you're saying it's at the bottom of them all because it's bad, then we got a problem.
Yeah, I don't know. They said they liked it, but I don't know. Like I watched it, like all of it, and I wouldn't consider it trash. I don't know what compelled them to describe it as that. I don't know if it's because if you think about it, Love Live, even though it's more or less pretty wholesome about it, it is appealing to the male demographic rather than a female demographic.
You would be surprised.
No, I know it has female fans, but I think
a lot.
It was created with the male demographic in mind.
Well, it's made with the otaku demographic, like the otaku like otakus in general, which are mainly male dominated, but there's a lot of like, especially mainly in the West, there's a lot of female fans of Love Live.
Yeah, I've seen that. I was like reading like a few articles when I just finished the first series.
The save for Aqua were all also Love Live fans. Like a good majority of them were Love Live fans, especially Anchan. The save for Chika was a huge Love Live fan. Like I watched the delayed viewings for Love Live Fest, which was like when they got all the generations of Love Live together to perform. Mm-hmm. And after like Muse performed Snow Halation, like they all came out on stage and Anchan was like crying. She was like, she couldn't take it. She was like she was like screaming, "I love Love Live" on stage and shit like that. So like there is like a weird like lineage to Love Live that we're like the fans, like there are like fans of the series that come in and then become the new cast and things like that.
Yeah.
And like the whole thing about like Muse being better even ties into the like real life Aqua. They had an interview where they were like saying that they were nervous about coming and being the next generation because they knew that they were going to get nothing but comparisons to Muse.
Right.
Thankfully, that slowed down with the more popular fan base who like didn't grow with Muse and instead like grew with Aqua. They kind of like are more mellowed out about the comparisons. They've like stopped doing it
because that was a real life thing, right? That they're a real life group, and so they actually did feel the actual comparisons to Muse.
Oh yeah, like the reason I really don't like the idea of like hinging on like Muse is that like Muse fans are really toxic in general. Aqua's fans are Aqua's fans. I say Aqua's as in Aqua with apostrophe S. All right, mm-hmm. Right. Their fans are like they're different, sort of toxic, but we'll get into that. But like Muse fans are like. There was a community that I saw, Google Plus community, where it's dedicated to like hating Aqua, and they would just like call them whores and shit. They were like say like they're terrible, their singing's awful, they'll never be like Muse, so they're gross and disgusting. And I'm like, holy shit, go outside, like Jesus.
So I want to take it back a bit because we are talking a lot about Aqua, but we haven't. So back to the thought about I said earlier about idol anime and kind of not wanting to be as fanatical as the fans, kind of not being interested in that from what I knew. And then you brought up, like Ava fans, like a jab, but it's true.
Yeah, it is
but
true. Yeah.
The one difference I think I see, and you can correct me if I'm wrong, is that Ava, for the most part, being an Ava fan, yes, they can be fanatical, but being a fan of Ava doesn't carry that sort of embarrassment that I think someone would feel if like, oh, I like an idol anime, possibly.
And there's a couple reasons for that. One is that Ava fans are fanatical to the series, but they respect their series.
Okay.
They push it by elevating it at the same time. Like Ava fans care about their series so much, and they see all the depth. They look too deep, but they see it and they elevate it.
They look way too deep, but they're elevated.
Way more. They didn't read the subtitles.
They're seeing something that's not there clearly, but you know what? They're advocating for it.
Yeah, but that's the point, right? Is that they advocated for it, and as a result, because it was so prominent that the show had to be this good, everybody else was like seeing the worth that it had. Like on top of that, it's like idols in general are seen as cringe because of the culture. Like not the idols themselves so much as it is just the fans, because the fans are like they, you know, they can't get married. They're my idol. Shit like that.
Here's the thing for anyone in the chat. If you've watched Perfect Blue, I think that's a good, accurate,
It's a very cynical but fairly accurate representation.
It's a cynical, but it's kind of what comes to our minds of at the forefront of people that don't want to gotta get into idol culture or idol anime because of like
Idol
being that.
Idol fans are like these incel freaking like they don't want the idols to get married because they want them to stay pure and be everybody's idol or some shit. It's some weird like IRL waifu shit that they're on. It's like, dude, go outside, man.
But that actually even extends beyond idol groups in just the music industry in Japan, usually with like singers, you know, caught in scandals or whatever kind of they're. You know, and I think in idol groups, there's more pressure and there's more expectation, but I think that expectation is still there for even singers that aren't in idol groups because they're idolized by fans.
Yeah. Like the name idol isn't a mistake. They're meant to be looked up to and worshipped. That's what they're named for, right? Like that was the intent. They're basically just pop stars and the behavior is similar, except like pop stars are more like free. That's why free to be however they want. That's why like when idols break out and become like regular pop stars in music, they're able to have like relationships and stuff. Like a good comparison, and funnily enough, you'll notice is like overlap. K-pop bands also have the same kind of thing because they're also called K-pop idols. Funnily enough, I figured this out, and
There's a lot of crossover in the Love Live fan base with K-pop stans, if you'll notice.
Yeah, and there's a lot of expectation in the K-pop scene as well, especially because they have, I think, more idol groups. They're bigger on having, you know, boy bands / idols.
Yeah, but like
all girl groups.
K-pop bands appeal more to the Western fan base because the music is more like Westernized in how it sounds, which is, you know, intentional. It's like they're aiming for two different types of sounds.
Is this where I admit that Blackpink is my guilty pleasure?
I mean, like,
I think that's a good example of the Western sound kind of mixing a lot with the Western sound to appeal to more of a Western commercial, you know, scene.
I mean, look, dude, I'm Asian. I'm fine. Like, I don't
like, I'm not repulsed by K-pop. I'm repulsed by K-pop stans, not K-pop.
Yeah, again, it's always the fan base. But let's talk about School Idol Project.
School Idol Project.
I've heard people express, like I was talking about it with someone recently, because I announced the stream and they were like, yeah, like School Idol Project, and I think I heard it somewhere else too. Like the first season is kind of unwatchable, but once you get past it, it's better. You know, it gets better. I didn't have that problem. I like maybe because I breezed by it, or I was like, you know, I'm just kind of seeing where this goes. Yeah, I don't know. I was fine with the initial three, you know, Honoka, Umi, and Kotori. They're okay. And then I was just kind of seeing them build their team together, which it kind of I everything you said beforehand, I saw it kind of unfold. Like it rang true. Like you were saying, like Love Live essentially is kind of like a shonen. And then once I started seeing those elements, I was like, oh, okay, I could see why, you know, where this is going and what part I'm interested in. Kind of like, okay, what are they going to build? Like, and then how are they going to figure things out? And then how are they going to rise to the top?
Yeah, that's why I think the biggest mistake of marketing Love Live to people is marketing it under like slice of life moe things. Because then people like, that's what I mean. When I said that, like, what separated Ava fans from, like, Love Live fans and that Ava fans respect their show, Love Live fans get into Love Live with this mindset of it being, oh, because it's a slice of life, cute girls doing cute things show, it's not doing anything, and therefore nothing's happening. It's all just fun things. So when the second half of School Idol Project introduces like the melodramatic aspects and like it is shonen-esque, they get confused and just write it all off. Like, so I remember like a big argument people have towards School Idol Project is that they don't understand why the situation happened with the 3 second years towards the second half of the show. They thought it was like unrealistic and like forced and like whatever. It only really makes sense better if you come into it with the mindset of that shonen action or shonen, even shonen sports series kind of mindset, because that's how it's structured, far more so than like a cute girl, like a Niyashike or like a normal like slice of life series that you would get.
Which situation are we talking about? The 2 seniors or
No, the second years.
Oh, the second years. Okay. Refresh me on what that was.
Kotori, Honoka, and Umi.
Okay.
We're talking about Kotori's thing where like she was going to go to the design school in America.
Oh, okay.
And like it broke up Muse.
I mean, I didn't see a problem with it. Like it made sense. I don't know. She was kind of on the she didn't tell her friends, but then she was also kind of weighing it, like what to do, because it was her passion. She wasn't going to be, the whole reality is they're not going to be school idols forever. And kind of high school is that time where you got to figure out your career. I don't know if that's the angle where the criticism was coming from.
The criticism is more so that they don't understand why it's happening, because it's like, why didn't they just talk to her? And some people go like, why wasn't Kotori punished more for her actions? And it's like, okay, it's established throughout the entire show that Kotori, it has no confidence. Mm-hmm. She doesn't view herself in any positive light. She doesn't even reveal the fact that she's into design until or that she's like into that like until like the second episode. And even then, like she's very like low key about it. And even though it's her passion, it's not as if like what's happening is that even though it's her passion, what she values way more is being with her friends. Yeah. And it's like, sure, she wants to become like, she like likes design, but it doesn't matter if she can't spend those last 2 years with her friends. Is like this whole thing. But she doesn't have the same kind of confidence Umi does, where Umi can just like shit on Honoka's entire being every single day. She's like, there's like this balance happening. Right, where like Umi's bad cop, Kotori's good cop who enables all of Honoka's behavior all the time, because Kotori's like the nice one. It's why both of them have to be there for Honoka, or else like the whole balance is broken up. But that's like getting ahead of myself. The issue is like I go on record saying that School Idol Project is easily the worst part of Love Live as a whole, and like even then it's still good. So I would say it's like the least good part of Love Live, in my opinion.
Both seasons?
The whole
thing. Why do you think it's the least? Well, I know you like Sunshine better, but even is it just because of that comparison, or do you just think like what School Idol does isn't as good?
Well, like, so there's a lot of things like in terms of like how the story goes. It even like reveals towards the later, because like, okay, so for the whole premise of School Idol Project is that, we're gonna become school idols in order to save the school, right? That's kind of like what it introduced itself as, and that's what people latch onto. But it's introduced like at least in episode 2 and 3 that's not the point. The point is that they're learning why they're doing what they're doing and why it's fun, because like halfway through episode 12. The problem just goes away. They're like, "Oh yeah, Honoka, the school's saved. We don't have to do anything anymore." And they're like, "Shit, hell yeah, dude." So like, it didn't matter. Like the whole like in School Idol Project specifically, the school being saved is just like a way for them to get into action. Like it straight up does not matter. They even address it in season 2, where like Honoka's like, "Yo, the school's saved. Why do we need to go to Love Live? We could just be idols and just do it for fun, right?"
Yeah.
But what the point of Sunshine season, School Idol Project season 1 is that like they have to figure out why it is what they're doing, and also unify the group. That's why like School Out of Project Season 1 is all about building together the Legendary Nine, who eventually build the foundation of what Love Live is for the rest of the franchise.
Yeah.
And it centers around those three, Honoka, Kotori, and Umi. And that's why their development kind of ends in Season 1. They don't really get any more major development after that because they don't really necessarily need it after that. They got all they needed in Season 1.
I mean, they kind of are who they are. From what I remember of the second season, it's really just the competition aspect. That's really most of the focus of, besides the Kotori going to design school thing. It's mostly,
Right.
them kind of competing with Arise or Arise and kind of figuring out like, what to kind of do. But
Yeah.
it kind of still keeps that, the investment, at least for me, comes from that shonen aspect where it's like, oh, okay, how are they going to figure it out? How are they going to get better? And then they do, and then they, that was interesting.
Yeah. And like we really have to specify that like the competition of the Love Live is more important is like more emphasized in School Auto Project and anything more so than the saving the school aspect. Like that is not a factor like in the show for like most of the School Auto Project.
It's like they forget about it. It's like, oh yeah, that's right. We're trying to save the school. Oh, we saved the school. All right, we're done.
Because it straight up just doesn't matter, right? It's like
it's kind of like they changed the trajectory instead of, okay, we don't no longer need to save the school. What are we doing this for? Well, kind of. But even from the beginning, though, Honoka did, like, it was for the school, but she also wanted to express her feelings through the music, and she wanted to shine.
It's that speech in episode 3. I want to share this feeling that I have with everybody. It doesn't matter how many people are in the audience.
That's when I think episode 3, like when they were like they saw the empty stage and she said that.
God.
That's when I like kind of hated myself because I didn't want to be into this show. I didn't want to watch it. I was like, okay, let me just get through it. It's probably gonna be whatever. And then that scene moved me. I could feel like a little tear in my eye. I was like, God damn it.
Because like it's so good the way that it's paced. Because like there's all this build up, and they open up the curtain, and there's nothing. Like the darkness like fades, and there's like no one in the audience, and Honoka's like straight about to break down and cry, and then right when Hanaya walks through the door, that's enough for Honoka, and they get back in gear. Because all Honoka wanted was one person to hear her words and like express them and share her feelings with. That's all she wanted.
So that's essentially like, since that moment on, I was invested in kind of Honoka's journey and see what they could become as a group and see how they came together and kind of just see that journey play out. So I didn't mind the school. Like it was kind of like, like, all right, the school thing is kind of, done. That was surprising, but I didn't mind it too much because again, I was still invested for the rest of the season to kind of just see where they would go. And, I was surprised to see that, Arise like thought so highly of them and that they were like
keep everything you're thinking about in mind.
Okay.
Keep that all in mind.
Well, that they saw them as worthy rivals. I'm like, oh, okay, shit. Okay. They're on their level. I'm like, okay. I thought they were like way higher than them, but they see them as threats, so I thought that whole dynamic was very interesting. I thought Arise, like they were just going to be like assholes. And they were like, no, like come to our school, have high NT, and you guys are awesome.
We will beat you.
We will destroy you. We will pummel you into the ground.
Dude, that scene is 100% a Shonen like the two rivals face off scene. Cause like they're like, yeah, you guys are great. I'm still gonna kick your ass though. All right. And then they walk out, and then Honoka like stands up and goes like, no, we're gonna win.
I know Shonen isn't a genre, but the battle shonen,
the battle shonen
formula,
like the sports,
the sports kind of ones have a good way of making anything, any subject, ballet, ballroom dancing, whatever, interesting. Like to just kind of like be invested and kind of see where they go, see like how they duke it out, even if it's just singing on stage, to kind of just be like they're underdogs and kind of become the people that you want to see them become.
Yeah. Like That's what's that's what's interesting about School Out Project season 1 is that like it's very much just the groundwork being laid. Like the fact that like the series season 1 ends with them performing Start Dash, which is like a song that is just about the beginning. It just means it's just that nothing's gonna happen until you take the first step and run. A baby bird's not gonna be able to fly at first. It has to grow stronger and fly, and eventually learn to fly. That's the song they perform, and you notice that song is only performed when all 9 of them are in attendance.
Right.
It's played in episode 3 when the 3 are performing on stage and the rest of them are watching for the audience. And then in episode 13, they do it again when they're all on stage at this time.
Yeah. It's it's similar to Haikyuu, sort of like the first half of Haikyuu, where it's spends all that time laying the groundwork for the main team. Although they only have like a training match kind of halfway through, but it's still that first, pivotal match that kind of is gonna, be relevant to the show later on, and kind of their starting point. So,
right.
In the same way, Start Dash is like that.
And what you'll notice is that it very much emphasizes that no one member of Muse matters more than the other. Yeah. What matters is the fact that all of them are together. So it spends a lot of time with each individual, like each character, and like pulling them in, and they don't make any major moves until all of them are together.
But even then, you could even say that that's evident in the fact that Honoka needs Umi and Kotori, because without them, she's kind of like a mess. She kind of needs their support to kind of figure out the right way. So even though she's kind of leading, she's not.
Yeah, because like they even say it's like it's like even though she doesn't really technically do anything a leader does, they recognize her as the leader because she just runs forward and they all follow and they all like run with her. Like they're all run after her.
Because in a way, I think their skill sets, even though they're different, they're all kind of equals in that regard, that they can all shine on their own. And then together they shine even brighter, which is totally different from, second series, the Sunshine.
Yeah, which we'll get into. You got to keep in mind all these things I'm saying because when I get to talking about Sunshine, you'll notice that I'll start using the subversion word a lot. We'll get into that. But School Idol Project season 1 is like interesting in the way that like it introduces like a couple things. Like it introduces Maki as this character who like, like the tsundere who like doesn't want to invest anything because her future's already laid out. So she's like, she doesn't understand why she needs to bother doing anything.
Yeah.
And she's like disconnected with people because she's awkward. And you realize that like all of them just sort of have this issue where they just don't know how to express themselves. None of them do. Even Honoka, who herself admits at the end of season 1 that she has no idea how to express herself because she just kind of acts before she thinks.
Yeah.
And that's why like a lot of season 1, as they start getting bigger, as the 9 come together and they unite all the members, the drama happens because Honoka doesn't really think about the feelings of everybody else. She has good intentions, but she doesn't think about to ask how they're doing.
She doesn't factor them in. She cares, but it's not at the forefront of her mind. When she's kind of sees something, she just charges ahead for it. She just runs ahead.
Like they say it positively in the beginning of the season, where it's like, she always causes us trouble, but the heights that she shows us every time are something we'll never be able to see on our own. Which again is like just the idea that without them being together, they wouldn't be able to see anything. But the fact that like Kotori even hinting that she's leaving like shuts her down is like big, because like in that moment she realizes that like oh, you're not. It's like I wasn't paying attention to you. I thought everything was gonna be fine if I just ran forward and did it. And then like that's why like the whole part where like with No Brand Girls where they perform in the rain is such a big moment, because that's the first time Honoka's attitude of if I just run forward and just try as hard as I can, everything will be fine, doesn't work out. Like her whole reality just shuts down right in front of her face, and she doesn't, and she can't handle it, and she can't handle the fact that it's all her fault.
Yeah, she's like, I'm not fresh on it in my head, but she's like not equipped to kind of deal with that. It's like everything so far has just, and for the most part, actually, of School Idol Project, everything does. There are a few bumps in the road, but everything does end up working.
Everything just kind of works out.
So for Honoka, most of these things end up working out because she hasn't realized that she's got Umi and Kotori have been having her back the whole time and kind of doing that support in the background that allows her to, not hit those bumps as much. So when she does, it's like, oh, okay, this isn't what I'm used to.
Yeah, this is it's like she's very like idealistic and optimistic, where she's like, everything will be fine. If I just try, if I just run forward, everything will be fine.
And for the most part, it is.
Yeah,
for the most part, it is.
But that's only when she this is so. Keep in mind, so keep that analogy I used of her running forward and everybody following after in mind, because they kind of. You notice that there's like a couple of lines that you notice as they're leading up to No Brand Girls, where like all the other characters are just like when Honoka's like, let's just change the entire dance real quick with this new choreography that I just kind of felt like doing, and then Umi's like, hold on, could we not? Could we stop? And they're like, and then like Eddie's just like, Honoka brought us this far, you might as well do it. And they're just like enabling her, right? They're just enabling her. They're like, yeah, if we just keep following her, well, everything will be fine. And it's not fine because like Honoka collapses on stage and they can't enter Love Live anymore.
Yeah, she pushed herself a little. Now I'm starting to remember. She pushed herself a little too hard.
Yeah, because she stopped being concerned about just doing it for the fun of it and started like stressing herself out. And like it like collapses on her because she tries to take the weight of everything on herself, and they all kind of just without thinking push it all on her because she's always just led us to where we needed to go, but they didn't realize the entire time that Honoka was only able to do that because they were all helping her.
It's crazy actually if you think about it that and I'm thinking both series in my head that Honoka isn't like I was saying earlier, isn't the type of person that's equipped to hold like everyone's weight, and kind of take that all on herself. She needs to kind of not have anything on her so she could, other people to clear the path so she can just charge forward. As opposed to another protagonist from the other series.
Oh, we'll get to her. Get to her.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
But like that's not a knock on
intentional.
Honoka because it's just who she is.
There are two. That's why I said keep it in mind because like that's why I'm gonna be using the word subversion a lot later on because like, but that's the thing. Honoka's lesson that she learns and kind of has to expand upon in like the first couple episodes of season 2 is that she can't just keep running forward by herself. They all have to run alongside her. Is what they end up learning because
they got to carry their own weight and be responsible for it if they want to run with her because she can't do it for them.
She's got to keep them. She's got to keep them in mind. They got to keep her in mind. They got to communicate and connect. 9 hearts is one. That's what Muse is. It's like they all can't do anything unless all of their decisions, all of their feelings are united and like in sync. That's why like like Nozomi has that speech, right? Nothing will begin until the 9 are together. And because they're able to win only because their feelings are the same and they're all doing it because of their united love. That's like the whole premise behind why they're able to do the amazing things that they do. Because all of them are exceptional in their own different ways. But like none of them by themselves is able to accomplish anything.
Yeah. And the other thing is that at least for School Idol Project, all they had to do because they were exceptional, besides uniting, was just try, just to keep going. That's it. Like,
yeah,
there was nothing else. Like by virtue of just trying, that was enough because of whatever they already had that they just needed to share with the world when they again are together, unite. And then would you say pretty much the theme of the first series, School Idol Project, the theme is essentially just boils down to achieving your dreams and sort of I
Kind
don't know if
of.
it is just achieving your dreams. Is it?
Yeah,
Like
it's
it's part of
so
it.
season 1 is all about the whole like it's 9 coming together. It's the whole aspect of them like realizing that like alone and trying to like sitting there alone by yourself, not trying to do like kind of coasting through your life and being afraid to try is not gonna it's isn't gonna do anything. That's why the main song of the entire series is Susume Tomorrow and Start Dash.
Mhm.
Both songs talking about running towards the future. You know, Susume Tomorrow's first few lines are I don't want to regret anything, so let's run towards tomorrow. And Start Dash is all about like, you know, even though the future's dark, they have to keep going. And that and you can't do anything until you first start. That's all season 1 is. And like so it's starting and the 9 coming together as one. It's like the beginning of a legend. Like because School Idol Project, from the very fact that their name is based off of the goddesses of music, is like meant to be like the building of the legend that like everything else is based upon.
Yeah, they're meant to just inspire everyone that comes after, but doesn't mean that others will be able to be like them. They just kind of give that inspiration to strive toward, doing your own thing.
Keep that in mind, everybody.
Exactly. We're building it here. But I think with like could we boil that down to something even more general? Would it just besides the 9 coming together, it's more about it is that, like literally, but it's more about just kind of like you said, communication, aligning together, sort of what's the word?
It's expressing your feelings.
It's
It's like
expressing your feelings, but it's also like using I don't know if this is more of a second series thing, like using other people's kind of strengths, like you can do more with other people than by yourself.
well, so funny that I would say using other people's strengths like
That's more second series.
is more like Squad Projects thing.
Oh, it is more School Idol Projects thing than Sunshine.
Yeah, because we'll get to that. We'll get to that because, like, again, Honika's whole deal is that she takes the whole weight of everything by herself because everybody else kind of like pushes on to her because she just kind of thinks everything will go right if she just does it herself, which isn't true. And it's this whole thing of like she has that speech to Umi, like at the end of season 1 of School Idol Project, where she's like, I'm awkward. I don't take people's like feelings in mind, but I want to try and I want to like and I want him and I want to be able to like connect with you and Kotori. And then Umi says, "Okay, you know what to do. Then go get her." And
Yeah.
all Kotori wanted was for Honoka to reach out to her, right? That's all she wanted, and tell and like communicate with her, because people. So one thing I heard criticism for
Yeah,
Squirrel.
that's what I'm curious about. What are the criticisms of School Idol Project?
Well, for one, objectively, the CG is the worst in School Idol Project, which, like,
Yeah.
yeah, that's indisputable. The shit's kind of ugly.
It was one of the biggest. I enjoyed the songs. Just one of the biggest turnoffs every time when
Yeah.
the dance numbers happened.
Like it gets like way better, like in like from the School Idol movie onwards, like because what happens is their technology improved. And they're like not the technology improved. They got used to working with the models and they figured out how to like implement them. Like one thing you'll notice is like in School Idol Project, they have like these stiff faces that don't really like move. They look like soulless dolls kind of, and like they look very clay and the outlines are weird. And it's like it's like moving at a higher frame rate than the rest of the animation. I think when you watch it, it's weird. It's just weird in general to watch. It hits that uncanny valley hard.
Yeah.
And they don't really improve upon how to implement it with the 2D until like the School Idol movie. Which is like a big example is like with Angelic Angel, where like they start flowing in and out of the 3D really fast. But that's the biggest gripe I have. I also think the music selection in season 1 of School Idol Project is the weakest, which I mean, when the only songs I like keep in mind are No Brand Girls and Start Dash and Susume Tomorrow for the sake of the first few lines. Like, I don't really like, you know, I mean, like, I don't know. Muse's music in general for me is just not to my personal taste, just because it has that typical idol sound and it's like, eh. But that's just a personal thing for me.
Yeah,
I also,
I liked my Start Dash and Snow Elation.
But Snow Relations in season 2.
Well, yeah. Well, but it's a School Idol project. Are we
But
talking about
I'm
just
just
you're talking about the first half?
Korekara no someday. Listen. Season Kage Pro season 1 of School Idol Project had Borararara, the first song Muse ever performed that almost killed the franchise. All right, let's calm down. Did you know that? Oh, fun fact: Borararara was like our Bokura no Live, Kimito no Live. The song they performed in the 9 come together, like where they wear the red outfits, was actually their first single. Right, that was the first song they ever performed. Like
I thought it was Start Dash.
the actual franchise started with Boku no Live, Kimito no Live back in 2010. And like, so that was their first song. And that song bombed. Like, nobody liked that shit. Like, it almost killed it. And there was like no more Love Live. But like, Snow Halation there's their second song. And that's what saved everybody.
Yeah, I remember you telling me that.
Was it really only 434 copies of that shit that got sold? Holy shit. Bruh. But like, yeah. I think,
my favorite songs. I like Start Dash. I like Snow Elation. I liked a few of the others. I didn't have really many problems with them. That's I kind of enjoyed that. And then I don't really have anything else to say about School Idol Project. We talked about the themes. I enjoyed the movie. The ending was, if you hadn't explained it to me, that there was an actual goodbye, I was like, they're just saying goodbye for like 2-3 episodes, and then the movie. Like, I was just like, okay, this is a lot of goodbyes.
oh, we actually didn't talk about the second season, really. We kind of only talked about the first season.
Of School Idol Project.
Yeah, because
we glossed over it. We glossed over the second season.
Second season's the whole other beast, though, because that's when we start getting into like the really why they do what they do. Because season 1's just coming together. Season 2's like really digging into like the whole aspect of like why are we so special? Why did Arise think that like we're so great when like all we did was just like, sing and just do whatever the hell we wanted? Which was like, it's like, yeah, they did whatever the hell they wanted, and that's what made them special. They didn't care what other people thought. They didn't rely on trends. They didn't do anything that like Arise did, where like Arise was polished. They made it to their style. As like Tsubasa said, our pride is our style. So we work just as hard as you, we practice just as hard, and our performance was just as polished as you. In fact, we were much stronger. So then why did we lose to you? Was like this whole thing.
Yeah, because Muse had something that, I don't know, they had something that that even Arise couldn't have. They were able to move people's hearts. At least that's what I got from towards the end.
And you want to know why that is?
Go ahead.
Is because there's a difference between an idol and a school idol. And it's the difference between imperfection. It's between perfection and growth.
Mm-hmm.
Idols are portrayed to be perfect. They're meant to be like these things to look up to. They can't be touched. They're above everybody else. Whereas like a school idol is the whole appeal of it is that like you and I, if I just tried my hardest, could achieve something that I couldn't do before. Is what the appeal of it is. Is that these girls who like otherwise would just be off doing their own thing, united and did something together, is because they wanted to, in a space that allows them to do that, is what makes them exceptional.
Well, also they would have been like normal girls. They would have been nothing. They would have just been kind of there. Then they took something. Like when you come, you see an idol group come up. Yeah, they're starting out, they're getting big, but they might already have established fan bases, as where like a school idol doesn't when they first start up.
Right.
So they're building that. So I think, yeah.
Yeah, it's like it's this whole thing with.
But why? So did you answer why were they able to move people's hearts more than Arise, for example?
Because you can't connect with something that you, like being perfect and standing above something makes it's like inherently doesn't allow you to connect with everybody else.
Eh,
Muse's mission from the beginning was what Honoka said. It's like I don't really care if it's perfect. I don't care if there's like a million. It's
It's
like
to
if there's
be
only one
like
person in the audience.
accessible, to kind
Yeah,
of, and that's how they trick Chika into thinking, oh, they're just like me.
yeah, and we'll get to that because, ooh boy, woo! But like, yeah, so season 2 of School Idol Project is all about that, but it also like introduces like that question that it starts reaching, which is like that, like if Muse is only the 9 of them together, then what happens when the third years leave?
Yeah,
If they're only able to do everything that they could do because the 9 were together, then like what happens when Eri, Nozomi, and Nico were gone? And like that's like why they spend so much time on that, and why their conclusion is just like Muse can only be the 9 of us together, and this feeling only belongs to us. So we can't let anybody like we share our feelings outward, but the things that we like we experience together on that stage as 9 can only be like understood by us. And
yeah.
it's never gonna be the same if it's not all of us together.
I mean, I thought that was really good that they had to like explore that and really like kind of weigh like, is it about being just school idols or is it about being school idols together? The 9, that's what's necessary. That can't be replaced. And that's why that was kind of like, if you think about it, that was Honoka's ideal scenario, like a perfect combination that she probably wouldn't be able to replicate.
Yeah, because like why but like why Muse was able to do what they did is because they are the embodiment of what a school idol is. They're like that's why they're like the foundation. That's why like they, unlike Arais, were able to stick around for like way longer is like in the people's consciousness is because like that's what people think of when they think of the idea of school idols. Because as revealed in like the end in the school idol movie, Arais just went on to be regular idols anyway. Like they weren't like they even without the Love Live, they were still gonna be Arais. Like there was nothing they could do. They would just move on and be the same
Yeah.
because that's what they valued. Like there's nothing wrong with that. It's just not what a school idol is.
Yeah, like again, Arise, a way of likening them, they're like more like the professionals. They kind of they are school idols, but they take it a step further. So they're like the full package, they're a brand. Whereas, kind of Muse is kind of a once in a lifetime thing. They came, they did what they had to do, they shone or shined brightly, and then that's it. And that's what makes it special. And then they left.
Yeah, because like there's like a good comparison to make between the two. Is do you realize that you never see like other than the one time Tsubasa talks to Honoka and is frustrated asking why they lost, there's no moments of like weakness that Arais ever has.
Not really. She just because like they're secure in themselves. They're just, that's why they were just questioning, like, oh, what did they do? That was just different. We know we got it. So
Like
what went on here?
their personalities are also super not defined, and like all that's like really intentional. I made like in my video about it. Like I had to like I ended up making a video that was almost as long as my Muse video because like about Arise because it's like them being without personality and them being without a moment of like weakness is super important when you realize that like the moment that like Nico sees and Haneo see them, they start like fangirling out and like acting like being like, oh my god, oh sorry, they're like acting like fools, and then like when they go and when they go into the in the meeting with them, they're like all acting all unprofessional.
I just have something to say about that. While I was watching, I was curious because like I looked up the personality types of like the Myers-Briggs personality types of all the Love Live girls. And then it's usually like people kind of weigh in on what they think they are. And I saw like the personality types for the Arise girls. And I was just like, wait, how are they able to determine anything from the other two? Like, how is this? They
Like,
barely
actually, right?
spoke. Like, what?
You know what it is? I think like because like there's descriptions when they like a character description when they put out the characters. So like people see that and they're like, oh, okay, I kind of see it. I kind of see how they act, and I'm like, where? Not me. I didn't see it.
They barely even act. They were just kind of there in the background. Like the one that did the like gave away the most, I guess, which wasn't a lot, was the lead.
With Tsubasa, yeah,
Tsubasa, yeah. So I was like, oh, okay, yeah,
sure,
sure,
yeah.
but
It's yeah, but like that's what's really interesting about like School Out Project Season 2 is that like that's when you realize that the competition for them is like way more important, like way more important for this season.
because the status of Arise and who they are is more defined, I think, from what you were saying, from people's kind of impression and reception to them. That's
Yeah,
that's who Arise is. It's kind of like how they wow people.
yeah. It's just this whole thing where it's like
Like
they're
you don't need to get to know them to know what Arise is about.
like I like that their idea, like in the Halloween episode, their idea of evolving was just I'm gonna put on a funny witch outfit and she's gonna be a vampire, and like that's our being being a little kooky, that's a little crazy for us, and it's like okay, all right, sure.
Yeah, whereas Muse spent like forever thinking about like, the costumes that would like really match each one according to their personality.
It gave us one of the funniest moments in the entire series where it's like they swap personalities. We got
Yeah, I actually really enjoyed that one.
But there's something also really funny, right? Where it's like, did you realize that in both times that they competed in Love Live, Arise only performed Shocking Party? They performed the same song twice.
Oh. Wait, I thought you can't do that. I thought you have to perform a new song at Love Live.
They have to perform an original song.
Yeah. Oh, okay, but I thought it's an original, never like released, like an all new song for Love Live.
I think what it was that like that was the rule to enter, and they don't really like. I don't remember the exact wording, and that's like either way, right? You realize that like Arise like perform the same song essentially, like as if they couldn't do anything more than that. Like they were already at the peak, and there was nowhere they can go above that.
So like they couldn't shine any brighter. They're already at their best, essentially.
Yeah, perfection can't evolve.
Yeah, perfection is stagnant in a way.
Whereas Snow Halation was a song that was not only written because Nozomi wanted them all to do something they've never done before and like write a song together that had all of their feelings of love united, but was also the episode where like Honoka, Koto, and Umi only barely made it because they wouldn't have made it because of the blizzard. And the only reason they made it was because their entire school came out and dug a path for them. Because, it's feelings of love and if reciprocated. They expressed it. They helped save the school, so their school gave back.
Yeah.
They were able to connect with their audience way more because they were they were directly with them. They were uniting with them. Another big example that I point out is that you realize that when Arise performed for the first performance of Shocking Party in episode 3, all of their audience was on the ground watching on the screen.
Mm-hmm.
That wasn't the case for Muse. When Muse performed Yume no Tobira, all of their classmates ran up to the top of the building where the stage was to watch them and be with them. So there's already that inherent thing. It's like,
yeah, like they've already have that kind of rapport with their audience, where their audience kind of has more of a, I don't know, like Arise has kind of more of a boundary with their audience. Like, we're here and you're here, and Muse is kind of like, no, you're one of us.
Yeah, this is the example of the symbolism that I use, right? When Honoka first sees Arise, it's not even in person. They're on a screen at the top of a massive building, not even physically separated by height, but physically separated by the fact that they're not even really there. She's only seeing a projection of them. But when they go to challenge them, right? When Arai's like recognizing them as equals, Tsubasa comes down to the bottom of the tower and pulls Honoka into the tower to talk to her.
Yeah.
So it's like there's that disconnect because you can't, like, people admire Arai's, people like connect with Muse is the difference.
People admire Arai's because they see, again, like you said, perfection, something above, something that to deify.
Right.
Which, funny enough, but how
Yeah.
that works out later for Muse's
Yeah.
legacy. But yeah, so you think is that mostly
That's it for
season 2?
that's mostly season 2. Season 2 also has Ashiru Banzai, which is like when they perform the piano at the graduation. This is why Kage Pro in the chat points this out, is that the second season is the graduation kind of goodbye, like the goodbye to the third years.
Yeah.
Like it's the goodbye to them. But funnily enough, that shows up right when I say that. But like,
I clicked it.
Oh, okay. But like, when we get to the School Idol movie, the School Idol movie kind of addresses an important concern, which a lot of fans had, and for some reason, even after the movie came out and spelled it out for people, it was that like Muse went to New York because in order for the Love Live to take place at the Akiba Dome and therefore pave the way for the competition to be even bigger and inspire even more School Idols, they had to go there and publicize it. Muse did. And like, as they went there and, they realized that they could anywhere they went, it didn't matter because they were all together and they were all doing things that that they loved. What mattered was that they did it together. They loved. They come back home and everybody loves them. The entire country's like in love with them. They're like they're like celebrities at that point. So the fans have this question. It's like, okay, then why didn't Muse just become real idols? Obviously, they were popular enough. Why didn't they just become real idols? What was the point? Why did they have to break up?
Yeah.
Which is, I think, a dumb criticism because the entire movie's about that. But like, it's
because it's not what they wanted. I don't know. I feel like there's a good quote about it in Sunshine, actually. Or maybe they even said it in School Idol Project, where it's kind of like there's a difference, like the way they're doing it, the time that they're doing it now in high school and before, like it's once in a lifetime and it's never going to be the same after this. So that's what makes it like a precious memory.
Yeah. It's the shine that only happens for a moment. Cause like Muse, they even say like Noza even calls Muse her miracle, right?
Yeah.
But a miracle only happens for a moment. Right? It only happens for one instance and it can't go on for longer than that.
Spoiler, in Sunshine, miracles do not exist.
They don't. It's not real. Well, at least not for them, because But like,
so
that.
Yeah, go ahead.
No, you go ahead, because like, what were you gonna say?
All right, so we've been talking a lot about the themes, which is important for School Idol Project and a lot of that. But I'm curious to know, because I know Love Live is your, and it's clear from your passion, it's your favorite anime, but did you connect this greatly to Love Live with School Idol Project, or was it still whatever until you got to Sunshine? Or did you kind of like, were they both out and you kind of binged and then that's why you were able to connect like immediately because you got to Sunshine quicker?
So I've told you this. I think I've told you this and told some people this, but I watched Love Live as a joke.
Yeah.
I think what happened was one day I was scrolling through Mal and I saw the cover of season 1. It was like, because this is back when I was like in the mindset that the fan base was in, where it's like moe shows were like cringe and dumb because haha gigak funny tea and cake meme.
Yeah.
And like I saw it and I was like, damn, this looks stupid. I'm gonna laugh at this. And I said, hey guys, I'm gonna watch this dumb idol show with these dumb multicolored haired girls and make fun of it. And then I watched 25 episodes, no, 26 episodes, and was like, damn, that was good. What the hell happened?
And this is just how you felt about School Idol Project.
Yeah, I gave it like an 8 back then.
Okay.
I gave season 1 a 7, and I gave season 1 an 8. Season 2 an 8. And this was like in late 2014, because the year after that, because then right then the movie came out.
Right.
And then Muse broke up, and then everyone's heart broke. And because so I was like around for when Muse disbanded.
Right.
And everyone was like, they're gone forever. They're never coming back. But like I still only viewed it as like dumb idol shit, where it was like, oh, it was fun. I didn't even really see the themes really. I just thought, oh wow, this is like, this is kind of, kind of wacky, kind of funny. It's kind of emotional. It wasn't until like I saw the School Idol movie when I was not, so the themes didn't connect yet, but it was still this whole thing where it was like, because I connected personally, because there's this whole aspect of like, because the School Idol movie isn't just the goodbye to the group in the anime. Yeah. It's the goodbye to Muse as a whole.
Yeah.
Like they're gone. Boku Tachi wa Hitotsu no Hikari was them saying, we'll never turn back time. This is the moment that we're in, and we'll love it for as it is now.
Yeah. And
they're gone. It's the goodbye to Muse as a group.
Once you told me that afterward, I'm like, oh, okay, that hits harder now.
Yeah. Because like there's two songs. The Sunny Day song, which we'll get to, because like Sunny Day song is like has like some double meaning going on. Yeah. Sunny Day song is basically them saying that like the light of school idols is what got us here, so everyone else should follow after. You got like everybody else should experience how great it is to be like this. I'm gonna show everybody how warm the light of a school idol is, like the sun, right? Not as Muse, but as every single school idol across the nation.
Right.
And like that's their way of like, uniting everybody. But Boku Tachi wa Hitotsu no Hikari is them saying that like this is our goodbye, and this feeling will, as Muse, will only belong to us. Because the whole movie's point is that like you can't in order for school idols to grow, they can't stand in our shadow. We have to leave. We can't be a shadow. We have to be the sun and like inspire other people, right?
Yeah, and that the feat that they did of uniting all those idols, that was just crazy. And it was consistent when you say that they decided not to be a shadow. It was consistent with who they wanted to be, which was an inspiration.
Yeah, because there's actually like something interesting, right? How they perform the original the first OP as their encore song and when they win the Love Live. Yeah. Boku wa Ima no Nakade. The last line of that, if you read it as two different sentences, as like one sentence, it reads differently, because then the final line of Boku wa Ima no Nakade becomes, "We'll be waiting in the shining light." Mm. And that carries over into Boku Tachi wa Hitotsu no Hikari. It's because Boku Tachi wa Hitotsu no Hikari means we are one light. So that's like they're saying that they're gonna be waiting at the top of the mountain for everybody to follow after. But this light only belongs to us.
Yeah, like which again plays into the other stuff, but pretty much that it's unique to them, and not. But it's also in a way, like if you think about it, it's also reaffirming it, saying you should pursue your own light.
Yeah,
you could. It's okay to be your own thing. You don't have to do what we did in the way that we did it, but we're gonna step out of the way so you can do that for yourself.
Yeah, and it's like really cool. It's like really good that they did that, because they easily could have just became idols, but then everyone else would only focus on them. Nobody would care about any of the other school idols. It would have been counterintuitive to what they wanted to do.
Yeah, because they would have been so big at that point that school idols would be irrelevant, and it would just be all about what's Muse doing next, and they're idols now, so it's all about the idol scene. But instead of them moving out of the way, allowed school idols itself to just boom, to just become such a popular thing, because they became an example of what school idols could do. So that potential kind of motivated people to stay tuned and be like, oh, what's next? They're gone. What's next?
Yeah, and I kind of only connected with it on an emotional level at that point. Like, I didn't consider any of the themes or anything. Like, when I watched the School Idol movie when it came out in 2015, All I knew was that the group that I followed and only just now came to love was now gone, and they're never coming back.
Yeah.
And it was like this whole movie where it was a goodbye, and it was really sad for me. And I was like, oh my, like everybody was sad that day, and we were all depressed. And we're like, there's no way that anyone could follow this act up. And then they announced Aqua, right? And I remember when they were first announced, everyone was just memeing about like, oh my god, they're just copy paste of the same character designs. Look, this one's Umi but with red hair. This one's Umi but she has a bun. This one is Umi but she has black hair and bangs. Like that.
I've heard that. Yeah.
This one is literally just Eri because she's blonde. Like that. It was just that for like a whole ass year, right?
And you can't blame them. It's kind of you fell in love with the original group. You want the original group back. You don't want, just kind of something as a placeholder that kind of looks the same.
It's like a unique experience because they're never coming back. They're just gone. Like they were like the Love Live fan base like grew with Muse all those 5 years, and then they're just gone forever.
But what I want to know because I feel like we're going to be transitioning soon to the second series, Sunshine, and Aqua. So you connected with School Idol Project. This is before the themes, before, you looked at it more deeply, just purely on an emotional level. You just kind of figured out, whether you didn't take it seriously or not, though, there was something there. What you resonated with was the singing, the kind of the story. What was it that pulled you in? What is it that resonated with you?
The characters were cute and they sing the good song and the show make me cry. Like I was like super monkey brain about Love Live like back then, where it was like only like this show would not be taken seriously. It make me cry. Muse make me cry. They sing good song.
What made you cry? Good. I wanted what kind of stuff made you cry in School Idol Project?
Snow Halation definitely did. I remember crying when they when they all like the train scene's fucked up. That's fucked up. You don't do that to a person, right? That's just rude. Like having them like go to the beach and then like you think they're about to cry and then they run to the train station and then they just do it again. You're like, fuck you. And then like the graduation fucks me up because I shoot a bonsai. And then of course the movie when they all say when Bokutachi wa Hitsu ni Hikari destroys me. Like there's no like every single time it destroys me, it ruins me. Even back then it ruined me when I watched it.
Yeah. So basically it's kind of similar because I don't think I'm super big brain about Love Live. I just kind of watched it. But I think, I didn't expect to like really care too much about School Idol Project. And I'm like, oh, I'm enjoying it. Oh, there's a tear coming down. Oh, what the fuck? It's like, oh, okay. I'm invested in the cast. And by the time it ended, I was like very like, I don't know. I really, the cast really grew on me. And it's like, nope, no one's gonna be able to replace them. That's it.
Which is like a huge thing. Like that's what people don't understand about Sunshine. They were coming off the heels of the franchise itself. Everything it was built off of, everything that people knew Love Live was. They gave like the hardest task ever to these 9 girls, and they were like, "You're like they're." It's like when JonTron left Game Grumps, and then Dan had to be there, and everybody had to get used to Dan being there for a while until like Dan made his own personality.
Yeah, that's hard to follow in the footsteps of something that already kind of either resonated with the fans or achieved greatness.
But
kind of just have to fill that same spot.
But I don't think I understood Love Live until I watched Sunshine. And that's what's important. And that's why I said we got to keep everything I said in mind. We were talking about in mind.
All right. So do you think now is a good point to get into Sunshine?
I mean, like, so what would you say? Like, if you had, like, I'm asking about your personal ranking now about like your ratings for each of them. Like the first three, like Sip 2 and the Squadron movie.
Okay. So before we get into that, my favorite characters in School Idol Project were definitely Honoka, Maki, and...
Okay, bye guys.
I had to.
Nico Nico ni anata no hato ni Nico Nico ni. I don't know
mean,
anything past that.
I think I enjoyed the first part of Love Live. It was all right. It was fun. But I'd give it like a 6 out of 10. The first
Damn.
season of School Idol Project, right?
Yeah.
Because we're dividing it. You're not, you don't want me to do
Yeah,
like overall, right?
Yeah.
I think I enjoyed the second season, so I'm somewhere with 7 out of 10. In the movie, I enjoyed the movie 7 out of 10, so I think 7 out of 10 for both.
Darn. Well,
7.
thanks for watching, guys. I guess.
I mean, it's yeah. I mean, it was good, and I definitely felt something, but yeah. I mean, like it didn't like. I resonated with some of the characters in the story, but it didn't like go to this whole other level for me, like I'm sure
Right.
it did with you.
Right.
What did you give School Idol Project?
When I first watched it, like 7 and 8, which like my scores are like more extreme than others. So like, what would you say a 7 is?
I'm still kind of figuring that out for myself, by the way. So
What would you say an average score is?
I think, going by, I think 7 is like, it was good. It was good. I'd be down to rewatch it, but it's not like something that like super like emotionally like resonated with me, but I'm not going to be like, oh, it was bad. It was good.
Okay, yeah, then your score is basically like, I mean, like, okay, yeah, your 7's basically similar to mine, except for like the difference is like 7 and 6. The difference between 7 and 6 is I think 6 is like fine, the thing like exists, right?
Yeah.
So like that's.
I mean, it's tough for me because like I don't like splitting shit up into season 1, season 2. I like to just do an overall. So then it's like, oh, I actually have to break this apart, and then I have to think like, well, I did enjoy this part more, but I don't want to give. I didn't feel that this was this bad, but how do I reflect that I enjoyed this more? And I'm like, oh well, or that I thought this was better. So maybe season 1 is like 6.5, but season 2 definitely 7, and then movie 7 or 7.
Well,
Yeah.
well, it's not hard when the first season of School Idol Project is the weakest in the whole series.
Yeah. The movie was pretty good. Maybe 7.5.
Yeah.
I don't know. But that's
The movie was like one of my only 10s that I gave, by one of my few 10s I gave in a while, which was interesting because it went like 7 and then 8 and then a fucking 10, which is weird.
I mean, it helps me like usually with me when I analyze themes, that brings things up for me. But then I have to question whether I should be, and this is just something I've been thinking about lately with scoring and stuff like that, because I'm trying to reflect on that on my own, is like if something has good themes, right? But even if it has good themes and you understand them later after the fact, but if it wasn't executed well enough that you weren't able to pick up on it from the beginning, is that good storytelling regardless of what the themes are? And this isn't specifically about Love Live. This is in general.
Well, I would say that's just more of an issue. Just like that's why like discussing media is a thing, right?
Yeah.
Nobody understands anything completely the first time through. If I'm being honest, like unless the show is like, because like even though like Ava is like has one very obvious thing that's going for, and like it like basically hands holds you through it. It's still there's other nuances that like apply to that one thing it does. So there's more discussion to be had. That's why Ava's been talked about for so long. So I would say that that's not like, I think that's the reason why like discussion and analysis is necessary, because that's how you come to understand things more. Because like I said, I like don't get a lot. Like I have to like sometimes when I rewatch things, I get a new appreciation for it.
Yeah.
I didn't before, because like sometimes, because for me, like themes, everything has themes.
Right.
Themes are like a thing that a story has to have. Like there's like no story doesn't have a theme, but like what matters is like really like what matters personally and individually is like your emotional connection to it.
Yeah.
So like I don't really like harp on people if they don't like things as much as I do. I care about their reasoning.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah. It's like if you come at me and say that Love Live Sunshine is bad because it's the same as season and as School Auto Project, then we got a problem because you're just wrong.
I mean, yeah, I don't think that. I think I know enough about Sunshine that, at first I was like, okay, this is kind of like similar, okay, but then after watching, I wouldn't make that claim. So we're off to a good start.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's where I'd put Love Live School Idol Project. I still enjoyed it. Yeah. And then I'm actually more, and I think you already got a glimpse of this when we talked, before the podcast, when I just finished watching. I feel more torn about Sunshine and how I feel about it, and like
now
having
this
to
is
assign a
discussion.
rating, huh?
This is where the discussion gets long, boys.
Yeah. So without further ado, shall we talk about Sunshine?
Love Live Sunshine is God's gift to man. It invented anime and is perfect in every way. It is the greatest piece of anime of all time.
And 70% of the reason he's saying this is because Love Live Sunshine gave us none other than one of the best written waifus
Wow, is that a title of someone's video?
in all of anime.
You want to know why I have that title?
Clickbait?
Because I was like, I don't know what to title this. And then one day Seth the programmer was like, yo, name it this or you have no balls. And I was like, okay.
I mean, I've totally done that for titles. A friend was just like, well, how do I get people to click on this? Just name it this. I'm like, but just do it. I'm like, okay.
No balls. And I was
mean,
like, okay.
It works.
I mean, it kind of worked. Like, I mean, it's kind of not true. I like her because
it's true for you.
Not really.
Oh, then never mind.
I like her because she's the one that I connect with the most, but she's definitely not the best written character in her own series. By far, she is not, because like there's one character who's literally the thing the entire show's centered around.
Yeah. I mean, like, they could have done a little more with her in terms of fleshing her out, but she's fun.
I mean, Yohane, like, okay. This is where people start having contentions, right? So because Love Live Sunshine is far more protagonist-centric than School Auto Project ever was. That's intentional. Love Live School Auto Project is a story about Muse coming together as the Nine, and the Nine only operate because the 9 of them unite as one united heart that moves forward towards the future. It's Chika, it's Honoka learning not to just run ahead of everybody, but to run alongside everyone. Chika's different. Entirely different. Because Chika's mindset is everything that Sunshine and Aqua is. And also the fan base itself. Because you got to think about who Chika is. Chika is this girl from a nowhere town that no one cares about, who doesn't think anything special of herself, and one day came upon these waifus who danced really nice and wore these cute outfits, and like maybe my best girls like Honoka or something, and like she saw that and was like, I'm gonna be a fan of that, and nothing ain't ever gonna be better than that. That's basically what Chika was. Chika is not just like the thematic centerpiece of Love Live Sunshine as a whole, but also like the stand-in for the audience itself. And now is where I start pointing out that Love Live Sunshine takes a look at everything that School Auto Project did and critiques it, or at least critiques the mindset of how people view everything that it is.
I mean, that's interesting. I actually, from the beginning, like, I got what it was doing, but I never thought of Chika as a stand-in for the audience, but I guess, that makes sense. So that's a good way of looking at it. It puts a lot of things in perspective for a lot of people that don't get Sunshine.
Well, because you got to think about like what is like Chika believes at the beginning of the series that nothing's gonna be better than Muse. Yeah. She views Muse as perfect, and she thinks that like the only way to do anything right was to do what Muse did.
Yeah.
And what was the fan base saying at the time about Love Live Sunshine? They were like, you know, this isn't Muse. You know, the only thing that's only going to be good is Muse. Love Live's never going to be good because Muse is gone.
Yeah.
You know, it's the same kind of shit. Like,
Muse is Jesus, and it's just like, what would Jesus do?
I mean, did you see how Honoka like not only like affected the space-time continuum, but also told the weather to fuck off?
Exactly.
Pretty sure there's a moment in the Bible when Jesus said told the weather to fuck off, right?
That's how much power Honoka had. She just had to unite the 9.
Yeah, she just said, fuck off, rain.
She just wielded their powers. That's it.
Yeah, but like that's what's interesting, right? So take in mind everything that I said about School Idol Project, where saving the school didn't matter because what mattered was the competition and doing what they love. Whereas the school for Sunshine is almost everything. Like it's because the situation is very different. Mm-hmm. If you think about it, Muse lived in Tokyo. Mm-hmm. Like their going to their school is literally just an inconvenience. And if their school closed down, all they would do is like, oh, we just go to the next, like the one down the street. UTX is the better building anyway. And like they were already in a place that people cared about. They already had like, you know, they had that city lifestyle. They had people who would care about them, right? They
were right near Akiba, you know.
Yeah.
Right there. Where all the fan bases are.
Yeah. But think about where Aqua was. Urano Hoshi and the real life town Uchiura is like this backwards, like it's like this town, it's a dump. Triple Q went there and he said it's a dump.
In order to recruit people, they would have to go to Numazu City in order to, you know, actually get people interested or not recruit, but like get them to go to the concert or advertise or
you know the city where people actually live.
Yeah. Let's do this part a little differently. So before we dive into like the themes and the meanings, let's talk about like how I felt watching it. So
right, yeah, go ahead.
I definitely feel like I thought with season 1 of Sunshine, I thought the character work was a lot better than what School Idol Project was doing. You know, I felt like kind of the focus on Chika's feelings and sort of her not feeling like good enough and wanting to, her analogy about the normal monster and you know, the different characters having their different motivations, like Rico wanting to be a pianist and kind of not wanting to be an idol, but like, I don't know, the dynamic there was just very like interesting. It was already more, it was giving them more motivations to what they wanted to kind of do for themselves. And how, so I thought that was good. And I thought this is already better. And like there were some points during like the first season of Sunshine, I was like, oh, okay, you know, like kind of where is this going? Or, you know, I wanted to get to the point. And then you were telling me like, no, just wait for it. Wait until the breakdown. That was like episode 9. I was like, oh, okay, this is interesting. And by the end of the first season, I liked it. I liked the potential that it showed with Chika realizing, like, I liked what it was setting up with how it used Love Live School Idol Project as a basis, you know, for something to critique and for something to for Chika to mistakenly think, oh, this is the way we should do things, and misunderstanding Muse, kind of trying to copy them without really understanding who they were, what they were aiming for, like completely different audience, completely different mindset, you know, and thinking, oh, they're just like us and we could just do the same thing, and kind of getting our hopes up like, oh yes, our school's closing. Now we're going to be the same, you know, we're going to have the same success story. We're going to be the ones that are going to prove that we can be like them by saving our school. And then realizing at the end of season 1, like, you know, no, we need to find our own shine, our own unique way of doing things. And that interested me. So I thought, okay, this is good. And then her kind of shouting to the audience, I forget what concert it was. I think it was in episode 13 where she was just
it was in episode 13 where she told the audience, number 10, that they had to that they should join them on the stage.
Yeah. We shine together, you know, and Chika's kind of awareness of other people's feelings, especially with the Yo episode, where she realized how Yo was feeling and kind of like was like, no, I want to do this with you. and her awareness of other people, I was like, oh, okay.
With yo, haha.
I was like, at first I was like, on Chika, and then I was like, oh no, I have respect. You know, I like that, and I like where this is setting up. But I was disappointed with the second season, of Sunshine, because for me personally, I liked certain things. I liked, and this is why I told you I was mixed, because I like certain character dynamics and certain things it built up because it was fleshing out more of the characters. You got a bit of Johanna's kind of mindset, kind of backstory with her not liking herself and why, and dealing with her, Chunibyo. um, and I also liked that her and Rico, like, unexpected pairing, like, kind of hit it off, like, became friends and had the whole little demon dynamic going forward. That became a thing going forward instead of just kind of a one-off episode.
Oh man,
I really enjoyed actually what they did with Ruby and Saint Snow specifically. Do you pronounce it Leia or Leah?
it's Ria.
Oh yeah, Leah. So that was really cool, especially when they made Saint Snow Aqua or Saint Aqua
Saint
Snow?
Aqua Snow.
Saint Aqua Snow. That was all, and the whole thing that they were doing, the undertaking to do the Christmas concert and for their sisters. I was all on board for that. That was really cool. And I liked, again, what they did with the fleshing out of characters. But what it felt like at times was like, you kind of, if the first series was more about the competitive aspect and the love live and being focused on that, it's like this one kind of, like, it was still there, but it was in the background. It brought more of the character stuff to the forefront, which is fine. Always, developing your characters and fleshing them out is always great. But then it kind of felt at times it was meandering a bit. Like, I felt like there's a little bit of stopping and starting. Like, I wasn't sure what was, like, it was trying to build up the whole love life thing, but at the same time it wasn't. And then by the end, and with the whole payoff, and then the whole focus on, like, the love life just kind of came and went. And then it was just the whole focus on the school, and then being torn up about that. And then, I don't know. I felt like there was, like, I didn't get, like, proper closure with it, or, like, I wasn't satisfied with the payoff, and that's why I felt, like, mixed about it. Now, I did talk about it with you after, and you did drive home some points about, why it was so important that Chika was feeling the way she was feeling in terms of, like, the significance of the school closing and what that means for her on a personal level. And that did help a bit. But in all, I think I was a little mixed about that second season, because I was expecting more from where that first season left off. So that's my feelings on the first and second season.
Right. So this is where I got to talk about the fact that, like, it's like, this is why I personally believe that, like, you can't fully understand School Idol Project without Sunshine, because like, here's the thing about Sunshine is that, like, you quickly realize that your comparison is, like, when you said it's kind of like Ava, less than it's like Shonen, where it's you said, where that's what I think that's what you said to me, right?
Something like that. I just, I made a quick comparison.
I would, yeah, go ahead.
Like, I think the frustrating thing for people of Ava, and it's not a, it might not be an accurate comparison, but the frustrating thing about Ava is the whole stopping and starting, like Shinji, making some progress, then going back on it, then making something, going back on it, then not getting in the robot, and all that stuff, for the common viewer, it's like, okay, come on, just get it over with, just do something, come on, just do something. They don't care about all the other reasons. And then the only connection I was making was, like, that's what sort of, like, season 2 felt like, but not like I was frustrated with Chika, for example, like, stopping and starting. It just felt like again, the focus felt like it was meandering a bit at times. Like, yes, we're focusing on the characters and fleshing them out, but it doesn't feel like we're building towards something, or it's trying to, but I don't know. It confused me at times.
Well, what did you think the point? Well, so what do you think? Like, I know I explained it to you, but what did you think the center point of Sunshine was?
Like, the whole thing.
Yeah, like why? Like, because I want to know why you thought it was meandering. Because Because what I usually find is like what people think the center of Love Live Sunshine is usually usually kind of like clears that up.
Like I was interested to find out what it meant to kind of, find for Chika to find her own shine, what that whole thing meant, and finding her own way to kind of find, value in herself and do her own thing that's not Muse. But, and again, it could have been that I didn't get it, but there was like an episode in Sunshine where she goes around asking everyone, all the members of Aqua, like why, if they want to win Love Live, and why. And like that's spent like the whole half of the episode. And I just didn't get like why we needed that, all of that. It was just like,
yeah. So, all right. This is why like I would say that like Love Live Sunshine is, I would argue, more complex than Squad Project is, by virtue of it being the sequel and by virtue of it building upon what it did before. Again, Sunny Day Song is a song about the sun, the light of school idols shining down like the shine of the sun, and like inspiring others. And then coincidentally, there's a series after called Love Live Sunshine. Ha ha ha. But like, so you have to kind of think about it in like the very fact that Chika is constantly in the shadow of something because she puts herself there. In pursuing a shine that she doesn't think she has, she continuously puts herself in the shadow of something else because she thinks that's better than her, right? So for a majority of school idol, for Sunshine, it's Muse, because that's what inspired her to be a school idol, right? So she thinks, oh, if I just become like Muse, then everything will be fine. I'll be able to become exceptional and I'll stop being worthless. I'll stop being the normal monster. But she quickly realizes that like that's not the case, because right when episode 8 hits and they're all gearing up, ready to go, Saint Snow takes one look at them and says, "Go back down when you stop messing around. Go back down and come back up when you stop messing around." And like they shut them down. That duet at the top of the stairs is like Chika's oh shit moment, because Chika thought that, oh, the only thing that mattered, the only thing that was up there was Muse, but now it's also Saint Snow. And like the thing you realize is that Saint Snow also loses. They don't even win. They get 9th place, but that's why Ria's crying, even though they were so great, because it's not enough. And Chika then realizes that like the entire time all she's been doing was just coasting. She was trying, but she was just following someone else's shadow. She was just doing what she thought was the easy path to victory. Like, think about her reaction to the fact that the school was closing down. Like, people see that as like, oh, she didn't care about the school. No, she viewed that as like, oh, this is it. This is the moment. This is my anime protagonist moment.
Yeah.
And this is my challenge. And, Honoka faced the same thing. So I'm going to do the same thing. But it doesn't work out. Not only did nobody vote for them at the Tokyo event, there were no prospective students for the school. It's the rejection of both Chika, but also the town that she came from. Mm-hmm. A boring, normal town with nothing special on the outside about it.
Yeah.
But you realize slowly that she starts to see the town itself. She's like, I love this town. Everyone who lives here loves this town. So then how come no one wants to live here? How come everyone inside the town realizes how special it is? And if we consider that Uchiura and Urano Hoshi is how it's like related to Chika herself, that's also how she views herself. Like that's also like a representation of herself. Chika is someone who like can't figure out, doesn't realize that she herself is special. Like the fact that it's like in my video, the fact that she calls herself the normal monster is a contradiction.
Yeah.
because she's calling herself normal because she's the only one who thinks that way. And like you see this constantly when like Yo and Rico are talking about like, yeah, it's we worked so hard, we came so far. They're like, they're congratulating their own efforts, but immediately Chica's like, no, it's not just us, it's everybody else who helped us. The only reason why we're here is because everybody else, all you guys helped me, I wouldn't be here without you guys. And this is like a constant thing. She reaches out to Rico and she's like, Rico, you're so special. You're this piano player. You're so great. I wish I had something like that. And like,
hey,
Rico,
dude, sorry to do this. I will be right back.
Okay. And now the audience. Now,
yeah, sorry, audience. I will be right back. Just need 2 minutes. What the What will entertain you in
this
like
is
these 2 minutes.
What the What Q&A stream. Everybody,
yeah, What the What Q&A stream. He has taken over for the next 2 minutes. I'll be right back.
Go. Ask questions. Go. Fun fact: OniMaru one time in DMs her. What happens if I do this? All right, here's what we're gonna do, boys. Here's what we're gonna do. Today, let me see. What do I got in here? What do I got? I'm gonna get a I'm gonna fuck up his stream real quick. We're gonna watch this. Actually, do I want to fuck up his copyright thing? I don't want to be mean. I don't know, man. Oh, we'll watch this. Hey guys. If you had to sacrifice one, who would you choose, Krasdorf or Vindy? Definitely Vindy. Because I don't think Krasdorf could die. And if he could die, he'd probably come back as a vengeful spirit. Fellas. Hey fellas. Wow, no, I can't show my screen. No. Wait, they can't see it. Wait, what's the point of this? They can't see it. I can't show everybody Buff Live. I can't. This is terrible. It's in my ears. Arby's has good burgers made from. Hey, Natty. Hey, Natty, that's weird. Natty, that's weird and kind of cringy. Everybody go watch that video. Everybody leave a comment on that video I just linked and say, wow, that's kind of cringe.
All right, I'm back. How's the Q&A?
Hey, did you know that you could share your screen?
What? What are you doing?
You know that you could share your screen?
Let's see. What are you showing?
Why don't you show everybody?
All right. What is this? What is this? Wait, I think you showed me this once.
It's Buff Live.
It's Buff Live?
It's Buff Live.
Why does this exist?
They're working out, man.
Is this what the Q&A turned into? Like, I see What the What, you actually smell like Johannes' armpits.
Well, I mean, I would hope so. What?
Sacrificing Krasdorf for Vindy. Love Live. Okay. All right. Yeah. Well,
Buff Live.
Let's get back into it.
Wait, where did that Natty comment come from? How come I can't see it?
Which one? This one?
Yeah, where's that? Do I have to go to live chat? Oh, Arby's doesn't have burgers, idiot.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Dang, this is so sad.
All right, sorry about that. So you were talking about Chika and kind of what you talked about in your video, which I did watch.
Yeah.
About about Chika thinking others are better than her or more exceptional than her and not realizing that about herself. Um, which I get. I just feel like by the end of, let's just say, Love Life season 2, I was just kind of lost on like, okay, but what was the message it was trying to get here, like trying to get at? Because I felt like it kind of fizzled out for me a little bit.
Well, that's the thing, though. You have to view Chika as the center, which is why like it's kind of like why they immediately in season 1 end Chika's connection to like Chika's like reliance on Muse.
Right.
But it's not like she lost that reliance on others, because Aqua as a group didn't start with Chika, Yo, and Rico.
Mhm.
They weren't the first iteration of Aqua.
Yeah.
Everything Chika had was given to her by somebody else, because the original Aqua did the exact same thing she was trying to do. Mari, Kanan, and Daya all attempted the same mountain as well. But because of a combination of them not being able to unite in the same way, but also the fact that they just couldn't do the same thing that Chika could, they failed.
Mhm.
But Chika didn't see it that way. Chika only ever really looks up to people, right? So like when Daya walks up to her during episode 3, she says to her, this only happened because of the goodwill of the townspeople and school idols that came before you. Which means not just Muse inspiring her, but also the fact that Daya, Kanan, and Mari were there in the audience supporting her the entire time. Daya even turning on the lights and being the only reason they were able to form again. And Chika doesn't even dispute that. Chika just goes, yeah, that's right. But I feel like I'll only be able to start if I only be able to do anything if I just start. And what's important to distinct there is if Muse's journey only began when all of the members were in the audience, even when Chika had all of the future members of Aqua in the audience, she still couldn't do anything. Like their performance still like failed because all of the members of Aqua weren't there. It wasn't until the lights came back on that all the members of Aqua were there, which was the entire town of Uchiura itself.
Which is it's slightly different.
It's way more emphasis on why saving the school becomes their focus. Because it's like she says, it's like I don't understand why. It's like she starts to see like, even though they're advancing as idols, even though they're doing all like school idols, even though they're like advancing, becoming more like improving, she realizes that her goal of saving the school isn't changing. Mm-hmm. It's because nobody cares. It's like nobody is going to care about the school either. And she's like, well, I don't get why nobody wants to be here. Why is everybody rejecting us? And which is why she comes up
because her motivation is essentially it's not just bringing up herself, but bringing up the whole town where she lives, who she is, kind of with her, elevating that, because then that's a reflection. She takes it as a reflection of herself.
Yeah, which is like so important. That's why there's also that inversion for School Idol Project. The competition mattered way more than saving the school, because what mattered the most was the feelings of Muse as a group, and which was shining. Only the 9 of them. Yeah. And if we think about that, what matters for Aqua is the feelings of all 10 members of Aqua. The 9 members on stage and the 10th that's in the audience. Mm-hmm. So that's what's important. That's why like in episode 3 of season 2, Chika reaches out her hand after performing a Kimi no Kokoro Kageaiteru Kai. She reaches out and she says, we can't just win. We can't win. We can't find our shine if we just win Love Live. We can't find our shine if we just save the school. If one succeeds and the other doesn't, then we'll never figure out what it was that we wanted to do. We have to achieve both. Yeah. Because for them, that was their winning condition. In order for them to find their shine, they had to do both these things. And you realize that like in Love Live, the Love Live itself is really just a way for these characters to do one thing, which is like what Kana. You realize that like Kanan says this when Chika goes around asking them why they all want to win love, if they all want to win love life.
Yeah.
The reason she does that is because this entire time, the only reason we've gotten is because we're gonna immortalize the school, the name of the school. But like you realize that for all of them, they have their own individual reasons. You know, I want to show the world. You know, for Yohane, it's I want to like reach out to my little demons, give them a show for supporting me. For Ruby, it's this is my older sister's last chance, and I want to do everything for her.
So to cut in, just so I'm understanding, so is that what the purpose of that episode that I referenced was? Like, was it
12? Yeah.
So, what was that?
It's episode 12. Yeah.
Well, of season 2.
Yeah.
Yeah. What was so important for? Was it like that? Was actually like really important for Chika to have their feelings in mind to motivate her to do something, or was it that she didn't have a strong enough feeling for herself that she needed to hear their reasons?
She thought she thought it was just her own. So basically, what Love Live asserts is that a school idol can't do anything unless their feelings are united.
Mm-hmm.
So in Chika's mind, the entire time she's like, is winning this just to win enough? Is winning this just for our one goal enough of a drive for us to continue doing this? Because we're all individual people and we all have our own reasons for doing this. The school the school wants us to win so that we can save Urano Hoshi and immortalize its name in history so that it never dies.
Right.
And for them, that was enough for them, but that's the 10th idol's wish. So then what does everybody else want to do? Because what Love Live Sunshine asserts is that the reason anyone succeeds as a school idol is because they found something they want to do, and they realize the greatness within themselves and push forward till so they could achieve it. Because it's what they wanted to do. That's why, like, when you get to Over the Rainbow, they put so much emphasis on this is fun. We're having fun on stage, but that doesn't mean we're not working hard.
Right.
So when she goes around and she asks them all their questions, right? So like, you know, she asks, you know, she asks Ruby, she says she wants to do it because she wants to show that she's grown, but also because this is Daya's last chance. When she goes to OniMaru, she says, like, you guys have given me a chance to shine in a way that I wouldn't have if I was stayed stuck alone in that library. And I want to give this my all. Yohane does her. The funny thing about Yohane is Yohane calls everybody out on their bullshit constantly, but she also like is the one that like never is honest, truly honest, really honest with their feelings.
Yeah.
Yeah. So like she's kind of like her and Hanamaru are like support roles the entire show, because what's important for them is that they support their friends.
Yeah, because even Ruby at the second season, she comes up into her own.
Yeah, and they support her.
Yeah.
And then
Yohane kind of, again, like you said, stays in the background for the most part.
Yeah.
Even though she's the one that like stands out the most.
Yeah. Well, because you can't just make perfection and then put it in a show.
Yeah.
But yeah,
I feel like I don't know, like, so the message, and I think that's where I got lost on. By the end of the second season, not including the movie plays into it, which I was more happy with the movie, and like where I got more of like the closure I was looking for. Like I wanted to see what happened after, because I knew the school was going to close. So it was like, okay, but I want to kind of see where this goes, but in terms of by the end of the series, is it Chika realizing, and maybe she does just it isn't her realize, she doesn't realize it until the movie, but it's her realizing that it's not about just Love Live, it's about doing what they want to do and enjoying it, but for the right reasons.
Doing what they want to do, enjoying it, and being able to achieve it because you're trying and believing in your own ability, instead of like relying on somebody else, and instead of like projecting your own insecurities on others.
Right. Because
It's
she was doing that all along.
it's way more complex than School Out of Project is, because with School Out of Project, there's really only one major thing it's going for, which is, again, to build up the lesson of the nine and build up the legend of school idols. Whereas Sunshine is taking that and then running with it and like expanding upon all the aspects it can. Which so like that's why, for example, Chika is so when I talked about like Chika is like in the shadow of other people constantly. She's in the shadow of the third year. She's in the shadow of Muse until she moves out. She moves out and realizes, like, we can't follow them. She's in the shadow of Saint Snow until she realizes that they're the same, and that she's in the shadow of the third years until she realizes that, like, we won't, like, even if in the movie, even though they're gone, that we're still Aqua, because again, I'll talk about that when I get to the movie. But basically, Chika always push, whereas Honoka runs forward and everybody just kind of follows after her and places the weight onto her. Chika's already like taking all of these people and like pushing them forward, saying that you guys are better. Like, you guys are better than me. You guys got to do it because you guys can do the things that I can't. And
Honoka like doesn't really bring out the best in the other girls. They already are good at what they do, and they kind of, like we said earlier, run as equals. Whereas Chika does bring out the best in the girls around them.
because they're so, whereas like everyone in School Auto Project, aside from like the third years, like didn't try anything yet. They haven't done anything yet. They're just in place. And Honoka running out into the open field gives them an opportunity to move.
Right.
Every single member of Aqua is a failure in some way or another. They've already failed in some way. Like, Rico is a talented pianist, sure, but she ran away from the piano. She threw it all away because one failure was enough to shatter her and realize that make her be like, lose her faith in her own abilities. Yo is talented as a swimmer, but like, that's not what she wanted. She wanted to be with her friend, and every time she saw her friend on the side, and every time her friend turned her down, she saw it as like her growing farther and farther away from her. Yohane hates herself, but she loves the things that makes her embarrassing, and she like she's always at odds with herself. Like, and the third years especially, they already failed, where Chika and that's why episode 6 of season 2 is so special, is because the third years already failed. Kanan took way too much of the burden onto herself. Mari also tried to tried way too hard, and like wasn't considering the other people's feelings. And Daya wasn't strong enough to like tell them to communicate with each other or like support them or like directly. She couldn't. But Chika was the opposite. Chika already relied on everybody else and was like, I can't do this alone. I need everybody else. So she was already willing to push past failure where Kana and Mari and Dai were never able to.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why episode 6 is so great, is because like all that Chika needed to like succeed was just realize that the only person that didn't believe in her was herself. Mm-hmm. But even then, she still failed. Like, even though they won past that, they still failed in another way. There was nothing they could do about it. Even though they tried their hardest, there was just nothing they could do in the face of reality. And the reality is that even though you can succeed, even though you realize your talents, even though you all come together, you're still going to fail.
It's not enough. And I think I'm starting to see a picture. I'm like trying to take it all in, that essentially what it was, because again, I'm like trying to focus on the overall theme, and essentially what it was trying to say with Sunshine is that, don't get hung up on the failure, because failure is normal, and it's you're letting that stop you from doing what you want to do. And
right.
Kanan, Mari, and Daya, I think, similar to Yo's feelings. Like they wanted to kind of be with their friends.
Yeah.
And have an excuse to kind of do something, hang out, and then that failure broke them apart, and then that kind of stifled them from being who they wanted to be or doing what they wanted to do. Same thing with Rico, kind of evaluating, and she did come to that realization. Oh, I do want to play piano. I still want to do this more than being an idol. And then later, she wanted to be an idol, but the point is, she was letting the failure stop her until Chika helped her out of that. And I think for the other girls, I think it kind of similar stuff.
Yeah, because what's normal is letting failure stop you. What's exceptional is being able to get back up.
Right. Like failure is normal, and it's normal for it to stop you, but getting back up is an exceptional, gargantuan effort.
And it's like why they all followed Chika. Like Chika thought she was just pushing them along, and that she was like all she could do was just like take their burdens. But she didn't realize that in and of itself is amazing. Like no one is like the fact that she was able to get back up was something none of them were able to do.
Because as you said, like you said this one line to me as I was watching, and I'm like, oh, it's literally what he said is playing out. Like, and it kept coming back, the whole, this is the show where everything you think could go wrong goes wrong. And and I'm like watching, and I was like, oh, yeah, okay.
There it is.
Things are gonna, like every time Chico's like, oh, please, I hope, let's pray. And I'm like, oh, this isn't gonna turn out good. This is not, it's not gonna happen. And
Love Live Sunshine is a show that makes you cry at the numbers 0 and 98.
Especially when that 98, that happened and they didn't get the last two. I'm like, I don't think, like in a shonen, not even a shonen, like a typical anime protagonist, like kind of moment like that, it would go through. They would get the 100.
Like most popular media, that would have been the miracle. That would have been the moment where like they all came together and won.
And here it's like, no. What happens when we don't give you this thing? When the universe says no, how do you deal with the aftermath? Do you keep going? Do you quit? That's it? Do you let it crush you? And okay, but now this is the moment. Nope, that's still not the moment. So what if that keeps happening? What do you do? And it's kind of that, like
you find the new thing.
And that's like the not the culmination, like the epitome of that was the school closing. Like that was the biggest failure.
Because that was the thing that they wanted the most. Like even more than winning the Love Live, like Urano Hoshi's, because like think about it. What makes a school idol is their school.
What's funny? Like I forgot about that while I was watching, and I got to the end and whatever. And then after I thought about it, talked about it with you, I'm like, wait, of course they care. Like it's school idol. Like the whole point is that they're not idols, they're school idols. And the whole definition is you have to have some pride in your school. That's defines what type of idol you are, or why you're doing this.
Yeah. And that's why like it hits them so hard. And like it just like it's like the biggest failure Chika like experience, because like it's like they say in like season 1, like where like Yos is like she's just afraid of not being able to put her all in something. She's afraid of like not like just proving once again that she's nothing. And like she thought for just one moment that this was it. I could finally do it. And then no, the universe, the world said no. And then she thought she was like, that's it. There's nothing I can do. But like, that's why that scene immediately after is so important, because right then the school gives them a new answer that they couldn't have thought of on their own. It's like, if it's like, there's a way to get past this failure. You can still save Urano Hoshi if you immortalize its name in time.
Yeah, like, and is that essentially different from what Muse did? Because Muse saved their school, so they became kind of these miracles, as opposed to Aqua, which is like more like scrappy. Like they persisted, they fought hard, and yeah, they didn't save their school, but they won Love Live and they got it. They got it in the history books. That in itself is commendable.
So in episode 12 of season 1, they go to visit Otonokizaka, and when they go there, they meet that one schoolgirl, and she goes, "Nothing that Muse had is here anymore. It's all gone." Because they said that no matter even without those things, they'd still be together.
Yeah.
But what matters is that the school wasn't Muse. Muse would still be Muse if they weren't at their school.
Yeah.
But that was only if they were together.
The Muse, their bond is what they had with each other.
Yeah. That's why they had like the moment that only belonged to them.
And what bonded Aqua was the school.
Because Aqua has 10 members, not 9.
Right.
Their school is their 10th member.
That's what was important to them. So they're defined literally by the school's name, the school's existence.
Yeah.
Okay.
But what's important is also that this is a visual I'm going to be talking about in my video, that my big one that I'm working on, is that like, if you think about it like this, Muse was named Muse because it's named after the 9 muses of legend. They're literally the premise of their show, and them as in general is a legend, a miracle that can only last for a moment. Aqua's named after the ocean around their town, but also after the waves. Waves come and go. There's never one wave. And even though, and you get this in episode 6, Mari calls Chika Aqua's next wave. Because the first wave already came and passed with the 3 of them. They already failed. They tried, come on the shore, they went back into the ocean. Then Chika and the gang and the rest of Aqua, the 10 idols together, came the next wave, washed on, won Love Live, and then went back in. That's why Over the Rainbow focuses on the question of the new Aqua. Because that's where it's different. Muse was one name that could only exist at one point in time. Aqua is wave after wave that comes and goes, but always keeps trying no matter what.
Yeah, so it's their legacy that kind of keeps going, even when their members leave.
Yeah.
So what was the and I guess we might have already covered this, but at the very last episode of season 2, where Chika's kind of breaking down on the rooftop, and then her classmates, the school, the rest of them like call out to her, and she comes down, and then she has the realization, of what the shine was all along.
Yeah.
When she sees the rest of the members there, including the school, including the other classmates. Is the realization what we're talking about? Is that the realization, that moment that Chika has, that this is what I needed all along? This is what it was. It was us working hard to achieve what we wanted to achieve, but together.
It's Evangelion episode 26.
Is it?
It is, because it's like, but again, if you consider that, this is where Chika realizes the entire time that like, because she thought the entire time, if I just do this, if I just do that, I'll find it. And that's what it is. But then when she looked back on everything that she did, she's like, oh wait, I already had it. That shine was what allowed me to run here.
And is it because she realizes this because it's all over?
Yeah, because like,
now that it's gone, she realizes the act of them practicing, working hard, being together, producing what they were producing, being on stage, seeing all the lights. That's what it was. That's what she was looking for, and now it's gone.
It's the moment she made the decision to try to achieve something. The moment she decided to do something was the moment that shine was there.
So, Evangelion episode 26. The moment you choose to go outside
is the moment you go outside.
Jokes aside,
like
the moment you choose to engage with the world, that's the first step.
Yeah. And that's what's that scene is. So it's like everything's gone, because you notice how like trivial it treats the fact that they got the flag, right? Like episode 13 literally just starts with the flag just right there. They don't even give no fanfare. We won.
That's what, like, threw me off. It was just like, it's there. It's whatever. Chica's not happy. And I just wasn't getting it. But you know what it was also, and I think this is just reflective of, my experience with the second Sunshine. I like parts of it. But it didn't emotionally resonate with me. Like, I didn't emotionally, like, I thought it was going to, and there were, especially with the end of season 1 and where I was heading. But Chika didn't emotionally resonate with me as much as she did with you. And I'm saying this after watching your video about Chika. I didn't, and I think that's why I feel so mixed about it. It didn't bring to that level, because I was saying in school idol projects, they're tiered a few times.
Yeah.
I don't think I cried even once in Sunshine.
Sad.
Yeah, and I'm not even saying that to put it down or anything. I just don't think it, and it could have been like what you're saying. It's so complex and like nuance. What it was trying to do, that maybe me not picking up on those things, where as opposed to in school idol projects, it was just super straightforward.
Yeah.
So easy to get, and me not getting those things could have also been part of it. Now that I'm like we're talking about it in the message, and when I'm like, oh, okay, and it's like, and then seeing it in that light, I'm like, maybe if I rewatch the scene, having all this context, it would hit me harder. But for now, that's why I was just mixed about it.
Yeah, because I get that. Again, that was the premise of my whole ReZero video, is that I didn't like it because I didn't emotionally care about anything because I didn't get it, right? Yeah. Or I didn't get, with Revue Starlight, I didn't like it because I didn't get it. And it's that's just the thing, right? That's why I kind of think where it's emotional resonance is kind of different from understanding, because I think understanding helps you emotionally resonate with things more sometimes. It really helps you impact.
Because if you get in that scene, why Chika's on that rooftop, why it hurts so much, why she's crying, why she's and then her realization, if you understand the scene, it'll hit you, because then it'll be oh, I get it, oh my god. But if you don't, then it's oh, whatever. Or same thing with Evangelion. You don't get why episodes 25 and 26 weren't fully animated. You don't get who cares about Shinji and what's going on with him.
I want a robot.
Congratulations is not going to mean jack shit to you.
Yeah.
Instead of being this grand validating moment, that's oh my god, this is all this kid needed. So.
Well, because you know what? Chika wasn't even in my top 4 when I first watched Sunshine. By the whole thing, she was bottom 3 when I first watched it.
Bottom tier character, Chika.
Because my whole thing again was I didn't really, because what I emotionally resonated with was the whole failure thing, and failure is what I resonated with the most, and I was yeah, but it was a 9, I think. And I was it was just that rising score where I was yeah, but it's still, there's, I didn't latch on.
I have a question about that. So since you connected so much with from the latest video, the Chika video, it seemed that's why you're so passionate about Sunshine, because you connected with her journey, her character so much. But if you didn't connect with her that much in the beginning, what is it that you did connect with initially, for at least for Sunshine to still be that high for you?
It's really just the aspect of failure, right? Because I got it, and I understood the whole, because at a base level you get that feeling of oh, failure, we keep trying, and and we don't succeed. That whole thing on a base level, that's what gets you. And I was yeah, this is really emotional and powerful, but I didn't think of any of it past that. But as I started to look into it and discuss it with people, and really and I've rewatched this freaking show what do I have it at? Have it at the number right now? I don't even know.
80 times?
Not that. Definitely
not including the times you've edited the same scenes over and over and had to pull them.
You know what's scary? I can literally pick a GIF of the show, or even a screen cap, and I can tell you what episode it's from. And
okay,
probably,
you know what? I was already thinking that because I was trying to look for something before the podcast that I needed. And I was gonna like legit message you and be like, "Hey, what episode is this from?" Because I had confidence that you knew.
Hey, is Kage Pro still in the audience?
I
Hey,
think a lot of people bounced.
how many people are viewing?
5 right now.
Okay, Kage, if you're still here, DM OniMaru right now with a bunch of your Love Live screen caps so he can do the funny game where I literally just recite where everything's at.
We could make that into a game show.
It's terrible. No, it's actually fucking terrifying.
I mean, that's really helpful. If I was making more Love Live videos, I'd have you be the guy that just gives me the clip recall. Like, hey, where's this from? Actually, can you do that for other anime? How diverse are you?
Gurren Lagann, I probably can.
All right, I'll keep that in mind for when I make a Gurren Lagann video.
But
So
the longer the show is and the less time, it's connected to how many times I've edited the video.
Yeah.
For example, I could probably do the same thing with Madoka Barely. I can no.
I should make a Madoka video.
Hold on. Send it to you.
We don't have to do this now.
Yeah, I know. I'm just because this is funny. Let me think. I think I can do it with I don't know if I can do it with Cross Ange because it's like the reason why with Love Live it's because I've rewatched that show so many times.
We should make a huge Cross Angie video. Just saying.
I am going to.
Oh,
it's
okay.
actually planned because I have to. It's got to be the most big brain thing where I make people realize that Cross Ange is a masterpiece.
No, I really enjoyed our Cross Angie Fast and the Furious conversation. So it has to be a video about both.
Well, I'm making another video about Fast and Furious. So
right, well, that's not AniTube.
Well, you know what? AniTube sucks. I don't like AniTube.
You made a video about that. You should check
That's
it out.
crazy, dude. Did you know that this guy right here, he made I don't like AniTube? He's talking.
I thought it was. Is it I don't like or I dislike?
I don't like.
Oh, now I'm misremembering it.
Dude, he's that I don't like AniTube guy. He's on a stream with the guy who went through JoJo. That's crazy.
That's me. Yeah, I went through JoJo. I was very reluctant about it.
It was a reluctant journey through JoJo's Bizarre Adventure.
Yeah. Next up, my reluctant journey through Love Live.
Oh shit.
Or how Love Live broke me.
How Love Live made me complicit in WatTheWut.
All right, that's the end of the stream, guys.
No.
So going back to what we were just talking about, with Sunshine, I forgot what there was something I was gonna say. Like, I totally got the failure thing. That was easy for me to understand and kind of connect with, and that's why I was interested with the end of season 1 being we got to find our own thing, our own shine. We can't try to be these people, and that whole self-actualization, not trying to be someone else but be yourself and find that own special thing about you. That's where I was like, okay, I get that. And then that got muddled for me in season 2 as we were talking about. But one thing that makes me curious is I was watching again back to your Chika video, and you got personal with it, and you said how you really relate to Chika now that you understand her more than your first time that you watched it. You said so you relate to her on the whole, you think you're normal.
Yeah, I think because I told you, right? It's because I don't take kindness and compliments well, right?
Is that why you were super sus when I was like, hey, I watched your Chika video, and then you were like, yeah, and I was telling you, and you're like, okay.
I don't because when Super Eye Patch Wolf, when I went to that freaking panel and he said he liked my video, I cringed. I was like, oh shit. I was like, oh fuck. Or when people say they watch my when people say they like my videos, I would never react well to it. I'm like, oh.
Is it because you don't believe it?
I don't take compliments. I guess I don't I'm already but by the time they tell me that, oh, I like this video, it's very good, I watched that shit 5 times and found 20 things wrong with it, and it's like, damn, I don't want to watch. That was a bad video.
Right, but you're proud of your Chika video. You think that's good
because because it's the only one where I think that there's maybe 4 videos I would say that I legitimately think are good videos, right?
Yeah.
Where it's the Chika video, my Bleach video, my Review Starlight video, and I think Wait, fuck, it might actually only be 3 videos.
I mean, my Ava video was that for me until recently.
Oh, well.
Uh,
Don't fucking do that, dude. It makes me feel bad.
no, I'm just kidding.
Dude,
Go. So
man, this fucker with the anime girl version of himself as his profile picture and a raccoon told me my Ava video was bad.
exactly. Hey, you got to trust those. Those, you know, that's what you trust in anime.
Raccoons?
Well, the anime girl.
Oh, okay.
Maybe the raccoon. If the raccoon has magical properties, yes.
Oh,
Usually
okay.
they're sage. They have sage old wisdom. Tanuki.
Actually, I think
No, wait, is that right? That's not right.
because I think like Tanuki are like they are like a different species.
Yeah, you know what? Forget I said that. Just magical raccoon.
Yeah.
All right. So you cringe because, except for like 3 videos, for the most part, you're just like, you don't agree. You see all that's wrong with it.
If you hear me jokingly say I'm the idol god or like
Oh, that's a joke.
well, it's kind of like I say that because it's just true by default. Like I don't like that's the thing, right? If I say something like, "Oh, I make the only good Nisekoi video on YouTube," I view that as like, damn, nobody else is making Nisekoi content, so by default mine's the best one.
So, and is it also you trying to challenge people to make more like more content on him that's good?
I'm hard on myself, so I think like I'm like hard on everybody
To bring up their game. So,
yeah.
but my question is then, so is it that you think you don't stand out? You're like, you're normal, like, because Chika's thing is that she just sees herself as normal, right? Like plain, uninteresting, just like that. Like, do you relate to that specifically, or just a version of that?
Version of that, yeah. I think if we're being really honest, in full personality, I'm way more like Yohane, which is kind of obvious. Or like again, we have this scene in Over the Rainbow where like she has the fans show up and immediately she's like ill gross and tries to run away, right?
Mm. Yeah, she 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 don't know how to deal with that.
Where like her high opinion of herself is like kind of like her fucking around, you know? And when in reality she's super fucking embarrassed of herself,
She's
right?
just putting on a facade.
Yeah.
Like what the god, but he doesn't actually believe it, but
Yeah.
it's part of the act.
Like I because like, even if I say that, there's some people who like, if you
You know what? I'll tell you a funny story. It's not a really long story. It's just an example. When I first watched your dislike AniTube video, which is like the only reason, like the reason I reached out. I don't know if you remember. And like I watched it like on a whim, like at midnight one night. It was like, oh, click, okay, I'm not gonna watch the whole thing. And then like, and I just watched. I watched the whole thing, and you just seemed like, really genuine. Very like, I don't know, like it was. Also, it helps that I was doing the same thing. So obviously, someone that is in AniTube, is content creating, could relate more. I'm like, oh, and get it. So I was like, oh, this guy gets it, and he seems very genuine. And then at the end, you extended like, hey, we're doing like a Discord, help other people. Like, oh, this is really cool. Like definitely would want to be part of the community, whatever. And so that's why I felt like compelled to like reach out. And then I think you let me into like your echo chamber version 1, and I go in, and again, I have my impression of you from the video, and then I go in there, and the first thing I see is like, WatTheWut, the god. And I'm like, what?
that's dude, it's a fucking bit. Like it's
and then every interaction I saw with you like after that was just betrayed everything. I saw in the video, and then I was just like, oh, okay.
Yeah, this guy like seems like he like like he's just a really not he's like down to earth, and then you see me where I'm like on the internet where like we're like by the time when you see me talking on the internet, I'm like delirious and like I only know how to I only know how to interact with insults or like memes.
It took me a long time to understand that, to wrap my head around that. Like, no, I think he's just in constant shit post troll mode. That's it.
You have to get me one-on-one and like have like a conversation like about something to eventually get to the point where I stop shitposting.
Well, that's what happened. That's what ended up happening. So I like gone into the server, whatever, and then that's it. I like expectations betrayed, forgot about it, left it alone, and then whatever. And because I just wanted to talk to you. I think that's most people when they connect with someone over like watching a video, parasocial relationships, huh? And
Whoa.
You want to just kind of talk, like pick their brain more about that. And then it was like, this is not the same guy. And then like months later, I was like, you know what? Fuck this. I like DM'd you, and out of nowhere, maybe I had like an incentive. Maybe you said something. I don't know. And then I just started talking to you, and then we just kept talking, and then you were just down to earth, and I was like, oh, okay.
There it is.
What's the whole the whole other stick?
Yeah, it's the Johan. That's why I say like I would say Johanna is more accurate to me, because you notice that in the show, the only time she's ever like a genuine and not being a piece of shit is when she's alone with somebody.
Yeah, I noticed that a lot in the show, that it was like she's just always she never turns it off. Like that's quote unquote normal for her, and it's not normal when she's like what was it? She was being polite to.
So Sarah, because like she was like. She had a normal conversation. Like, holy shit, she had a normal conversation.
Even I was surprised. I was like, oh shit, she can do that. Like, I was just like, this is nice. And then she turns it back on. It's like, oh, like, do you have to do this? Like, you're embarrassed about it. Why do you keep doing it? But I think she enjoys it.
She just nothing she can do about it, right? She just kind of like does it. Like she's stuck in shitpost mode. There's nothing she can do about it.
It's because she enjoys it.
Yeah,
and you enjoy it.
It gets me out. It keeps me awake. Shitpost a day keeps the depression away. You know what I'm saying?
Helps to cope. Kind of humor. Humor's a good.
I'm in a 24/7 mode of cope. I ingest copium at 24/7, and I have to deal with it constantly. But like that's what I mean, right? So like I think one of the best moments that Johanna has is when they go to pick up like the snacks for everybody in episode 7 of season 2, when the first year is like they're doing it for them. And then, like, Johanna is like, why bitching about it? She's like, why do we got to do this for them? Why do we got to be the ones who go outside and do this for them? And Ruby and OniMaru are like, because they're trying so much, all we can do is support them. Mm-hmm. And, because like, they're doing this all for us. And then Johanna says this line where she's like, they don't have to. They don't have to keep doing this all for us. Because as far as I'm concerned, all I have for them is gratitude. And then the moment she like lets it out and turns around and sees them, and sees Ruby and OniMaru like giving her like the face they do when they're like they like agree, and then Johanna is immediately like because they're my little demons, yeah.
It's like you can say something profound that you actually mean. It's like, oh no, that's no, so
yeah.
So the point I was gonna make. And it could be the reason why, but it could also just mainly be that, like we were saying earlier, that I didn't fully understand all the context, nuance, with Chika's feelings and kind of what it all meant. But I also think it not emotionally resonating. I think I'm more so, I don't know how, like more resonated more with Honoka than I did with Chika.
Yeah, well, that's fair.
And it could be because she was simpler, but also Honoka found herself like awkward or whatever. And like, she didn't have like too much self-doubt, but it was there. Not the self-doubt part, but just how she was. Whereas Chika, like, she found herself like plain and uninteresting and boring. And I don't want to sound like I have this super like high opinion of myself, but it's not like my problem wouldn't be that I find myself normal. I think I've always thought I'm abnormal. So like, or weird. So that it's I think that's different, unless I'm misinterpreting, Chika's mindset.
Was he in gifted classes?
What was that?
Look at this kid. Was he in gifted classes or something?
trying to be honest here, and I got the shit.
Yeah. Okay, dude. You know what? You know who you're talking to, right?
What the God?
Shut the fuck up, dude.
I'm gonna be a little vulnerable with you. I was like, okay, yeah, all right, buddy.
Look at this guy. Look at him over here. jerking himself off. Yeah, no, yeah, I get it, right? Because like, that's my thing, right? Is that like, I don't necessarily think Honoka is a simpler character. They're different characters.
Yeah.
Like that's why like I think it's so shitty that anyone like says like, oh, this one's better than the other one. They're this one was the better leader. I'm like, okay, first of all,
Well, I don't know the whole criticism because I haven't looked into it but I've, from conversations with you, I think the impression I've gotten is that there's a lot of criticisms of Honoka, like either being like airheaded or like, not much depth to her. Or she, didn't, or I assume it's, she didn't have as much like self-doubt or stuff like that.
which is wrong.
But is that the criticism?
Yeah, it's just like everybody says like it's because the way I compare them is to say that like Honoka is Luffy and Chika is like more akin to Ichigo or Naruto, right?
Mhm.
Where like, for example, throughout the entirety of School Idol Project, Honoka doesn't get a single moment of inner monologue.
Mhm.
Not once. Because Honoka isn't think and then act. Honoka is act first, then think.
Yeah.
Or act first, then never think about it later. And part of what makes her so compelling is that she has to learn to rely on other people and to connect with them and to think about other people. Because you notice she's way more mature about these things. In the Rin episode, it's Honoka who sits there and tells Rin to be like, is this what you want to do though? Is this, is this what's best for you? Are you doing this because you think it's best for the group, or are you doing this because you're afraid to try?
Yeah.
This is the decision that you guys have to make. Like she makes like really mature decisions like in season 2 that she wouldn't make elsewhere. And like even though they're the same like wild like crazy 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 decisions she would have made before, this time she does it with the expectation that everyone else is going to help her, and then she's doing it. Like there's this big shift where like now like when she tells the rest of Muse that her plan is to have Sunny Day Song, they all are in agreement of what to do.
Yeah. And
Because
she had to think hard about that, like what she wanted to do.
Yeah, for the first time ever, dumb person thought, but like
I don't even think Honoka's dumb. I just think
I
she's
mean,
smart.
canonically, she's kind of dumb.
Is it? Okay. Then
There's actually, this is really funny. There's like an entire arc in like the Squaddle Festival All Stars game where they had like all of the members of all 3 groups and found like the dumbest ones across all of them, right? Like the ones whose like test scores were the lowest. And I think Honoka was there. So was like Nico and Rin and.
I mean, maybe they're just not book smart,
Yeah, but that's what they mean, right? There's like Kanan was there and
I believe that.
Yeah, and I think I don't remember if Chika was there. I don't think so, because like oh yeah, and then like we had the new ones you don't know, Kasakasu and Karin, who you don't know.
Yeah.
And canonically, Kasakasu is the dumbest girl in all of Love Live.
Okay. Well, I retract my statement about I put faith in Honoka and it was betrayed. So
I put faith in her, and it turns out she was actually dumb. But like okay, no, but yeah, but she's her actions are simple, but that doesn't mean like her character is simple, because she's like that's her whole thing. That's what made her special, was that she wasn't bogged down by
she
self-doubt
ran
and
for
worry.
what she wanted,
Yeah.
And a lot of people, like we were saying earlier, it's well, okay, we were saying something different, but it's normal to fail, and it's normal not to chase after what you want and kind of just be there. It's kind of exceptional to just keep going
And just try whatever the hell she wants.
Yeah. Without stopping, without anything like kind of bogging you down.
I mean, like ignoring the fact that she like, affected the space-time continuum and traveled back in time to talk to her past self, and like, seeing time as time goes by, and like, created a reality marble so that her past self could realize what her decision should be. Aside from that,
I don't think that actually happened.
Okay, so this is why you're a fool. This is why you don't know anything about power scaling. This is why when the eventual Love Live Shonen action series comes out and Honoka beats the shit out of Goku, you're going to be wrong, okay?
I would like to see that, and I want to see a Seth the Programmer video about that. So
I
get that.
Dude, I just stayed up all night editing his fucking video. Now I'm envisioning that in his fucking voice.
Hey guys, how's it going? It's me. It's your host, Seth the Programmer. Today we're going to be talking about Love Live.
You got to make it happen. Be like, I'll edit it for free. Just do it.
Just do it, please.
Goku versus Honoka.
Oh but like that's what's interesting about like because then you look at Chika and Chika's the opposite. Chika's nothing but internal monologue.
Yeah.
Every episode she has only like
Chika's nothing but doubt and hesitation. Sort of. No, I don't know about hesitation, but doubt.
And what's the fact that like Muse like this one spark was enough to make her try was what was so interesting to Yo, because Yo had never seen that spark in her for the first time ever. Like this entire time, Chika was too afraid to try, but this one thing was enough to drive her forward.
And that's the point of Muse. They're
Whoa!
the Muse. They give you that spark.
Haha, it's in the name.
But you can't try to be like them because that's it's just a Muse. It's not, that's not the art. That's not the art piece.
George Lucas was pointing at the moon, but everyone was looking at his finger.
Yeah.
No, but yeah, that's a fucking terrible quote from somebody. But anyway, like,
so, yeah,
that's like it's such a shithole thing to do to like say like, because like, I acknowledge that like, while I believe that Sunshine is more appealing to me because it is more it's a culmination of everything the entire franchise is to that point.
Yeah,
I acknowledge that I just emotionally resonate with it more than say someone who would resonate with Squaddle Project more. Like again, in terms of who likes what more than other things, I don't care because I'm like, you're free to do that. Whatever. Like, what am I gonna do? Stab you until you like Aqua better? Like,
just make sure your reasons aren't crap. Is what you want to say.
Yeah, because I like just don't care. Like, it's I've had people say like, I just don't like Honoka as much as Chika, and I'm like, okay. But if you come to me and say that, yeah, Chika's just a better character than Honoka. Honoka sucks. She's not realistic and she like doesn't think and she's garbage. Then I'll be like, okay.
So now it's time to debate.
Different people in this world exist and they're allowed to exist.
Go outside. Maybe you'll find a different person.
No. You don't tell them to go outside. What are you doing?
Oh yeah, no, then they'll yell at me and I'll have to make fun.
You need to give them context first. Like, why do they need to go outside?
I'll make movies for 25 years about why they need to go outside. If that's
interesting. I did read a whole interview he did recently, translated into English, in 2019, from Ano about his experience working in Gainax. It's very revealing, but it was really all about financials.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, like, man's got to live, right?
It's very messed up back, like the financial situation over there. So.
Yeah.
And very messed up how they handled it. So I get it. Kage Pro mentioned something very valid. Go outside and put on a mask. Everyone should heed that caution.
Do you have the pictures of Yohane and Nico when they had the masks, like the sus outfits?
Yeah, I don't have it on me. I've seen it.
Yeah, man, that's what you guys should do. Wear masks just like that. But like that's what I mean, right? So it's like, though, like the messages are like different. One is more cumulative than the other. Like, I understand not liking one more than the other. I just don't vibe with saying one is better than the other.
I think they're both good shows. And I think they're different experiences with different messages. And that's why I respect Sunshine, because I liked what it was trying to do. Can I have a preference over one over the other? Yeah, I can.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't say, I don't know. I don't want to make that comparison that, like, can't they just coexist? Like, this one,
we all just get along.
This one had a separate goal that it was going for, but it was also a culmination, and the other one was doing something else. Like,
it's like the message of the show.
School Idol Project was for the freaky abnormal people, and then Sunshine was for the normal people. That's it.
You really did just say, if you're all the freaks out there, this is the show for you.
No, the top tier characters, this is the show for you.
If you're a little quirky, this is the show for you.
No. Quirky and exceptionally talented.
Yes.
If you're just quirky,
Dude,
You know, you
okay,
can watch
don't
Sunshine.
say that because I got a comment on my Tepu video where the whole point of the video was like how talent's like a hill, a lonely hill, and then I had some fucker in my comments being like,
I sympathize with this because I was so special. I was so gifted. It was so lonely being as talented as me.
Oh, did you get a comment like that? I got a comment like that on one video too. Like there was just this guy that like was just kept talking about how skilled and gifted he is. It was long. Is that a guy going around? It was really long. I just couldn't believe him. It was just like, yeah, I was born with the height of an Adonis and I'm like, what? It was really ridiculous. Like I'm like, I don't know if this person's hearing themselves. And if that's the case for you, then that's great. I don't know what you're telling me though.
dude, this guy, he's so special, man. Yeah, but like, yeah, we didn't talk about Over the Rainbow yet.
So let's talk about. I think we got the theme. We covered the theme of season 2 and in general of this of Sunshine. Let's talk about Over the Rainbow and let's just wrap it up. Let's just talk about that. And then so let's get into it. So I enjoyed Over the Rainbow actually a lot. Like I thought I was trudging through the last episodes of season 2, probably because I had trouble, like I said, connecting with it. But I was like, you know what? There's still another movie. Let me just see 2 minutes. Like, where are they gonna go with this? I want to see what's next. Like, let me just see 2 minutes. And then I found myself like, oh, okay, cool. And then I just watched the whole thing.
Where it gives you one of the greatest opening numbers of any film ever.
I really enjoyed the musical numbers in that movie. But then again, I did enjoy also for the first movie, but this one was good too.
Dude, the fucking like way it builds up to that, like it's just straight up out of a musical, like a Hollywood musical is what that scene is. It's so good, like the build up to it. And how they recap the entire show in song form.
Yes, that was good. They pretty much went through all the costumes, right?
Like, well, no, they didn't.
No. I'm thinking of something else.
You're thinking about Wonderful Stories, the song at the end of them. But like they recap the whole show like in lyric like in musical form. So it's sort of like that I want song and like the that you see in like other series and like the song like the world explaining song for like you would see in other, like Disney movies and stuff. So it's like there's like a whole meme that like Chika's like a Disney princess, and you get like that moment where she has like her solo by herself in the song too.
I'm actually not a big fan of Kanan, the third years, Mari and Daya, but I enjoyed their musical number in Italy.
So the balls on Over the Rainbow to just like keep hitting you with bangers the entire film, and it gets you Toso Meso Mobius Loop out of nowhere.
I like that one. That one was good. Well, I just talked about that one.
Dude.
It's me not remembering the names.
What did you think of Marty's mother, Des?
Like what I really liked about the movie, what I was enjoying at the beginning was that like was different from the first movie is that they committed to the senpai left. Like that's it. They graduated, they went on a trip. And these girls now had to deal with the aftermath of like, oh, well, what do we do now? And like figuring that out. And I was like, yes, this is good. Cause like, and I get it, thematically, like the first movie was kind of in another excuse to bring the whole group back, even though they were kind of done.
Well, it's the goodbye. It's
no, I get that now. But like here, like with the actual story and where it was going, it was dealing with that whole, the actual like passing of the torch and like now what do they do? How do they figure this out? How do they find their way to kind of stand out and like analyze that? So I really like that. But as soon as I saw like Mari's mother,
Des.
Actually, at first, when I saw the helicopter, I was scared that it was going to be Mari. Like, I was like, crap, no. I didn't want them back. I did not want them back because I was like, I like what we're dealing with now. If we bring them back, then it's like, how are they going to figure anything out? And then I was so relieved. When I saw it was the mom, I was like, okay, cool. But then they ended up going to Italy. So I'm like, all right, I have to find them. But at least that was kind of just a segment. Like they still had to, what I liked, and I know I'm skipping ahead and not directly answering your question, but what I liked is when Chika asked them, and even when they talked about it with Mari's mom, it was like, what do we do? And it's like, they just said, well, you guys have to figure that out for yourselves.
Yeah.
And I like that. That was good. I like that it was committing to that theme of no one can give you that answer. You're going to have to really think about it and find out.
Yeah, because you know what that is, right?
Tell me.
The whole reason why they do that is like, it's like what Sarah says. It's like, if you want to find the answer, if you're struggling with the answer right now, because again, this is just another person that Chika's in the shadow of now.
Mm-hmm.
Because what Sarah says to them when they're like, Mari's singing voice, Kanan's choreography, and Daya's grace, that was what gave Aqua their strength. That was more like a challenge to them. Like, is that really all that was? Is those things being gone really enough to destroy what you guys were? And it's like, go confront it. And like when they went to go find them, it was like, oh yeah, it's like it was they were like, they didn't really they were confronting it again. They're like, what they were like, slowly coming to the terms that like, they don't have like, they didn't really lose them.
Yeah.
They just have to move on without them, right?
Yeah.
Because I think people get confused with that, with the message of like why they go to Italy, like why is Saint Snow there, and like what's the deal with the whole scene with them doing what somebody described as the Make-A-Wish love live that they do with Saint Snow. What it is that like they're confronting their past and they're closing the door. They're taking a look at the door they left open and closing it for the last time.
Yeah.
Which is, again, what I mentioned to you, is that when you look, and they even showed it at the beginning of the movie, Chika never closed the gate. Even though they because like when you watch the scene where they're closing it when the school shuts down, it stops just short of when the gate finally closes.
Yeah.
And when she runs back to visit the school again, the gate's open. Because even though she came to terms with the fact they closed down the school, she didn't really it was like they were like the failure was what caused them to caused them to stop. They chose they didn't have a choice in when they had to end. But Chika was what they had to choose to let it go.
Yeah. Like it was just that she just couldn't let go of kind of the journey that she had with the upperclassmen.
Because
like
again,
everything they kind of did so far.
Yeah, because like Chika's whole thing is that she she doubts herself. She thinks like, yeah, she always puts her worth in herself, even like because she still does it. She's like, when she starts to doubt herself again, maybe it's true that the only reason we were succeeding was because all nine of us were all nine of us were on stage performing. Yeah. And if that's the case, then what are we supposed to do now?
She doesn't think that she has the ability to pivot or find something new, like to be able to make something work.
I think that's interesting, is because it answers that question of like, okay, so now that you've faced failure, what do you do? What do you do now? You've accepted yourself. You picked yourself back up. What happens when when all the things that all the good things that you've done, all the things that you've accomplished are now in the past?
Yeah.
What are you gonna do now? Because it's just it's the same thing. It's like, it's like no matter what happens, you can always just find the next thing. Whether you win or you lose, you've achieved something. That doesn't mean it's going away. That just means you have to take what you have and move on to the next thing.
Yeah. So like for them, it was just keep Aqua going.
Yeah, like find their own answer.
Well, it's really them kind of figuring out like, do we want to keep going? Because that's the question. If the three of them left, is it because they had already decided they were going to keep it going, but if they're going to be doubting themselves, it's like, okay, what do they really want to do? And if Chika kind of realizes that, well, I enjoy doing this, and that's kind of reason enough to make it work.
Yeah.
So like it was like the message of the movie was like dealing with that aftermath of that kind of theme. I think like
It's
it's
closure.
was that yeah, like letting go, like you said, letting the past kind of be what it was and moving on to the next thing.
Yeah.
Um, because like at the end, she had a I think she had another realization again. I think it was just that realization that like the kind of the same one at the end of the season 2, which was, it's when we're like performing and what we're doing, this itself is the shine and the rush and kind of like what we want to do.
It's less like, so in season 2 it's more so that like her whole deal is that she's afraid of like she's dealing with the realization that she's special, she's special not because of the thing she's accomplished, but because she chose to go forward to do it.
Yeah.
Now what it is that like she's it's like what I've done before, everything, because again, she views Zero as failure. She views Zero as worthlessness. She views it as nothing, and and like that's a big thing because that's not. She realizes even that's not true because she says it. Zero's just the starting point.
Yeah.
You can't go anywhere without starting at zero, but that doesn't mean everything goes away. Which
Yeah.
is why like they're a little, because remember like their original thing when they do Aqua Sunshine was from 0 to 1 and from 1 to something even greater, and they
Mhm.
form to 0, right?
Yeah.
But when they do it again in this movie, it becomes from 1 to something even greater, moving onward towards our future. They take that same symbol and they make the 1 the most prominent part of it because they don't view the 0, because it's like,
Because they're
even
not
though
starting from zero. They're really, they already have a foundation.
just because they crossed a mountain doesn't mean the mountain's gone.
So it feels like they're starting from zero because in a way they are. It's the old Aqua is gone. Now it's a new Aqua, and they gotta kind of start it all back up again. Find a new dynamic, find a new rhythm. It's back to square one. And it feels like, okay, this is zero. We got to make something new out of nothing. But what you're saying is it's not out of nothing. They have a foundation. They have the experience, and yeah, like it's a mountain to climb. But even in an earlier episode, I think in Sunshine season 2, which I remember the quote, or not word for word, but I think they're struggling to come up. Or maybe, yeah, season 2, they were struggling to come up with a song, and then they said like, well, you kind of have to. It's those that overcome the hurdle that are able to view the summit.
Yeah. I think that's Miracle Wave, I think.
Yeah.
You're thinking of. I think, I don't know, maybe I'm wrong.
Whatever. But like the point is, it's gonna be hard. It's gonna feel hard, but it's kind of getting through it, figuring out a way to make it work that allows you to, um, see what you want to see, or kind of find that, I don't know, to find that something greater.
It's them kind of like, it's every single character in the series kind of going back, looking at where they went, looking at it, confronting it, and then closing the door. So we have Mari, right? Mari failed to do the very thing she gave up her entire education for. She
Mhm.
gave up all these things just to save her school, be the school director, and she still failed. And like her mom isn't like she's not terrible. Like her mom objectively is right. She's like, you went to that school, you threw away your education, and for what? You didn't do anything.
I mean, I couldn't. So I guess this is part of what you feel about Mari's mom, but now that you're saying that, I actually never objected to anything she was saying. Like I get, I get that they were like kind of framing her as, the bad person for, turning, not letting her daughter follow what she wanted, but what she's saying was reasonable. I
Yeah.
didn't have anything against what she was saying.
You know who she's like?
Ooh.
She's like Kanan.
Oh, okay.
Because Kanan only wanted the best for Mari,
Yeah.
but never considered what Mari wanted. But Mari never told Kanan what she wanted. So,
And
of course, Kanan wouldn't know. And it's the
yeah.
same thing for her mom. Her mom only wants the best for her daughter, So of course she's gonna try to do everything she can to make her daughter's life better. And if her daughter's just going to if her daughter's freedom is what's throwing away her future, she's gonna take it away for her own, for the sake of her own daughter. Like, it's so irritating that people get caught up in like the whole, oh, she's getting married. How come they never mention it? It's like, because
Wait, what? People got caught up on that?
they're complaining about. It's like, how come that didn't go anywhere? It's like, because it didn't matter.
It was
the same scene.
wait, that was supposed to go somewhere?
No.
Like they never show guys in Love Live. What do you think that was gonna go?
Explain the dads then.
You don't see the dads.
Yes, you do.
You don't see their faces.
And the most Chadley scene of all time.
You don't hear them talk.
Okay, but you see him cry like a.
You see a tear roll down the cheek, but you don't see his eyes.
All the words a man needs.
That's it, man. I mean, like the most supportive father figures.
It's goated, man. No, but like it's just like, it's so dumb because like that was the biggest thing. How come the marriage subplot? And it's like literally in the same scene, Kanan explains that like it's just the mom trying to take away Mari's freedom. Like, they mentioned it once for like a funny little gag, and then then Kanan explains she's just trying to take away Mari's freedom, and she'd do it any way she could.
Yeah, because again, her daughter was, they said as a child, like the obedient kind of daughter that just kind of did whatever her mom wanted, and then suddenly she felt threatened with her daughter finding kind of her own independence at such a young age.
Yeah. And
yeah,
like,
could also be that she's a controlling mom.
Yeah, but also like, she wants the best for her, but doesn't consider what her daughter wants because her daughter never told her.
Yeah. Also, her daughter's still a teenager, so it's like, sometimes like they don't know if they really know what they want.
Yeah. But they trusted her enough to give her a school to direct. So,
that was some heavy suspension of disbelief that I had to do for that one.
Dude, did you know somebody told me that the theme of Love Live is realism? And I looked at they were arguing this for a long time. And I was like, are you talking about the show where they made the van fly in the sky and then they made one of the students the school's director?
I didn't take the van flying in the sky seriously. Don't tell me that actually happened.
Like, in terms of power scale.
Oh my god! You know what? I'm just not gonna entertain this. I'm just
listen. Abe in my server is unironically reading through all of the Love Live material to power scale the entire series.
All right, I'm done here. I'm not. You know what? I think that was supposed to be metaphorical, and I'm gonna go with that.
Pillows that break the sound barrier, okay? And Nico takes one to the face, and not just one but two.
A what?
A supersonic pillow that broke the sound barrier.
All right. So, aside from the power scaling, I think in terms of like comparing Sunshine to School Idol Project, again, not the one is better the other crap. Just and I hate using this word because I know whenever realism or realistic is thrown around in anime discourse, it's like you got to be careful with that. But I feel like Sunshine takes a more grounded approach than in its presentation of the theme of like working hard and stuff and failure, as opposed to School Idol Project, which wasn't its focus.
Yeah, because it wasn't trying to. Again, it's a legend. It's supposed to be.
Yeah, no, and I get that. And I think that's where someone could argue or be like, oh, well, Sunshine, I don't know about all of Love Live, but Sunshine felt more realistic.
Yeah, I think like grounded's a better word.
Yeah.
Than I think realistic. But again, they were saying that realism was the theme of Love Live. So
all right, then just disengage.
Reverse.
Yeah. But I was very, happy with the movie. I got kind of the closure I wanted, because I wanted to see more of, okay, what happens after the senpai leave? How are they going to deal with it? Kind of what is the answer they're going to come to for themselves and all of that. Besides like, oh, we failed.
Yeah, because like the biggest thing, right, is that when they left the school in the end of season 2, they were crying. Chika couldn't even close the gate without like breaking down into tears.
Yeah.
But when they came back, they were all like smiling. And like, I think
This is some directing things, everybody. That strap in. What's about to get real fucking like big brain with the fucking big observation of the direction a character's facing. So you do know that like in Japanese view, looking to the left as like going to the future and looking to the right is going to the past, right? Because they read everything from right to left.
Oh, okay. I was like, I thought about that. Like, I don't think I knew that.
That's why like Ashita no Joe and have you read Ashita no Joe?
No, not yet.
Never mind.
I mean, I know a little bit because I watched that video.
Oh, okay. I'll use Kamina instead because Kamina is a fucking everything. Kamina's death is a fucking Ashita Joe reference. He faces the left because he's facing tomorrow. So, if you watch Love Live Sunshine, when they leave to go back to at the end of Sunshine season 2, when they close the school and Chika walks out and they're all looking at the school, they're looking to the left because it's gone. It's never going to be back. But when they come back to visit the school, the entire time they're doing it, they're walking up to it from the left, going to the right. They're going back to confront their past.
Okay.
And as they're
go ahead. No, continue.
So they're walking up to it. They face the gate, and they're all still framed facing the right, looking at it. And Chika finally closes the gate with her whole speech, and that destroys me every time. Where it's like, it won't go away. Everything that's here will stay inside us. The beginning was always at 0, but that doesn't mean it's going to be gone. And when she closes the gate, she turns around and faces the left towards the rest of them.
And then she moves on to the future.
Yeah.
So there was actually, I think this was at the end of the movie. You can correct me if I'm wrong. There was like a song, or I don't remember if it was a song or like a speech, or that they were talking about like it's always going to rain, something like that. But you have to kind of, essentially the message was you got to keep going. Like you got to just keep.
You can't. It's like you gotta confront it. You can't, like, even though you might fail, even though you might not succeed, you got to keep trying.
Yeah, that was essentially the message.
Yeah. Are you thinking about? Oh yeah, you're thinking about a Kiseki Hikaru, the one where it's like after. It's before they visit the school. It's after Brightest Melody.
Yeah.
And it's like during the training montage, where the first years run past the second years because they've surpassed them. They've come into their own.
Okay, I don't think I realized that.
And they're facing the left.
There you go. They're gonna head toward the future.
It's like that's like there's a lot of it in there, but like, and then Next Sparkling's so good. God, what did you think of Next Sparkling when like they all put their hands in and they did the aqua fucking the count off where they did each ni san yon go roku.
Oh yeah. That was good.
And then the third years say it in their minds.
Oh, and then it was like, did you hear them? Did
you
guys hear them?
Because they didn't go away.
Yeah, they're still with us. No, it was good. And then that the third years were watching them and then they left.
Yeah.
It was like, we don't need to be here. You guys are gonna be okay.
And people like misinterpret like why, like when they go to the dream world and the third years of their singing. Like I'm assuming I don't have to explain to you that like that's literally just what they're hearing, the idea that they're still there with them.
I mean, yeah. Well, you know what? I don't even know anymore because now the van thing in the air actually happened. So you know what? I don't even know. I don't even fucking know. I don't know.
Look, listen. Love Live power scaling is a complex art that you just don't understand.
This is not the what I signed up for.
Actually, I actually just don't get it.
Yeah. I don't know, but no, I understood that. Just like I understood the Quince ending.
Yeah. Listen. I have to meme like this because talking about Love Live is making me fucking cry, and you can't see my face. But I have to do this or else I will fucking like start bawling.
I think that like to keep you from bawling, I think being able to talk about it and kind of digest it and engage in the conversation about it has helped me kind of like really kind of, process, the message of all of Sunshine, which season 2 and the movie and kind of what it was going for. And it's a good message about, confronting failure and not really making it all about the success, but just kind of, keep going with what you want to do and finding the validation in just doing it
Yeah.
rather than, because again, Love Live itself became secondary.
Yeah.
It was like, oh yeah, we won this. But like it wasn't in as opposed to School Idol Project, it wasn't just about winning it for the sake of winning it. Like it was about their personal goals and Love Live being a means to that.
Like, isn't it kind of funny that like when they were having the conversation about like when they were how to get the school to recognize Urano Hoshi students as like their students won't like hold back the other clubs because they have a club, like they need a club that like is nationally recognized. They didn't immediately just go, "Oh yeah, us," right? Like that's interesting that they just like it's like it wasn't it was like so not the point to them that they didn't even like consider it at first.
Yeah. Like they didn't think about themselves immediately.
Yeah.
Because I don't know, they weren't, that's not what they were about.
Yeah, because like what always mattered was more so like everybody's succeeding, right?
Yeah. And I was already thinking in my mind, like, so the message of Love Live, and I think we just can like of Sunshine specifically, or even all of it, because it is the culmination. And we can close it off on this. How do you, do you apply it to your own life? How do you kind of take it for yourself and for your own like advice to yourself?
It's just kind of like, I view it as like, there is that aspect of the whole Ava, like accept yourself first, right? Where it's like you can't do anything until you try and do so with like the conviction to do it no matter what, like no matter despite failure and despite any doubts you might have, to continue to do it and just try your best, not because doing it eventually will make you special, but because you're accepting the fact that you are special and you are doing it, I guess.
You're validating yourself instead of putting yourself down and kind of realizing that by you just doing this is special.
Yeah.
You engaging it. And that's,
instead of seeking validation from others, you got to be the first one to validate yourself in order to do anything.
yeah. Like, but I feel like it gives you a little more than Ava, because Ava is just like,
Yeah, because it was just that first step.
Self-acceptance. Here is take the first step, but what happens if you fail, and then kind of, keeping going and like
just keep getting back up. Yeah, because you're gonna keep falling.
Yeah, and that's okay, and so I feel like, and then you're never starting from zero. You're kind of, all these experiences, all the failures are building up to something, and it just will help you on your journey to keep going.
Right.
But you have to want to do it.
Yeah. That's the most important thing, right? That's why like it was so important at the end when the other school came back and they were like, we realized why we do club activities in the first place. Mm-hmm. It's not because we want to win. It's because we do it because it's fun. And because it's fun, we try as hard as we can.
Yeah.
Like that's an interesting distinction it makes, because when you think of the whole like, I do this for fun, right? You think of like, oh, you're not taking it too seriously. You're just doing it because it's, it's a fun activity. But they're like saying it's because it's fun, because it's this thing that you enjoy with all of your heart. Then you're gonna do it as hard, like with as much conviction as you can.
Yeah.
And that's like an interesting way to go about that, because like this is gonna be like me, like an issue I have with content creators and like anyone creating anything is like,
this is good, because my next question for you was, I had to, like,
yeah,
in terms of content creation, in terms of YouTube, like, where do you, how do you see this advice kind of playing into that?
Because like,
or this message rather,
like when people say like, oh, I do this for fun, right? It's like, oh, I don't, I could just improve, but ultimately it doesn't matter. But like, if you're doing it to the point that it's fun for you, that it's something that you enjoy, you're gonna care about it. It's fun for you because you care about it. And because you care about it, you should be like working to improve it. Like even people who have hobbies, right? They're into their fucking hobbies. Like people who are like into cooking get all this like cooking like all this cooking stuff, improve their like
Yeah.
their abilities and stuff like that.
Like if you enjoy it, and this is something I had to deal with a lot years back with like previous hobbies, is like if you enjoy it, no one has to push you to do it. Like it wouldn't sound like a chore to just be like, oh, I got to do this, then I got to do that to then reach this level. Like then you're just kind of thinking it in terms of you're thinking of like where you have to reach as opposed to I'm kind of enjoying what I'm doing along the way, and I'll level up while I'm doing it because I'm just kind of, doing it a lot because I'm enjoying it.
You should watch my Saint Snow video eventually. I'm not saying you need to. I'm like you should eventually because
I just saw because it was on my feed again today. I saw the thumbnail of it.
Yeah.
And like now because I saw you do that. I remember when you asked for feedback on that thumbnail, and I had no idea what it was. I just remember when seeing it before, and now I saw it and I'm like, oh, I know what this is. Like I actually understand this. It's such a weird feeling, and I actually really enjoyed Saint Snow's music actually.
Oh, they're
and especially that one scene, which is from the movie, which is where from that thumbnail is from.
Yeah, Believe Again. You like Believe Again?
Yes.
The balls of Love Live to be like, okay, so here's one of the greatest songs in the entire franchise, and then they do Brightest Melody, and then I'm like, fuck you, movie, fuck you for doing this to me. You can't do two bangers in a row.
Yeah, man. Like you think you thought Aqua wasn't gonna follow up to that? Come on,
dude. Oh,
you can't have Saint Snow just kind of winning there.
Bruh.
Dude. All right. So, but yeah, in terms of content creation, I think you were gonna make a point with the Saint Snow video or whatever.
Because like because like their whole thing, right, was that they want to be the best. Mm-hmm. They want to win. It was kind of like the opposite of what Chika was doing, where it was like Chika just said, oh, if I just follow someone else, I'll find my shine. It was the shine that was more important to her. Whereas they were like, if I just, we need to win. We need to be the best. And like, it's like, that's why their failures end up like, they also failed because they were only concerned about winning, not enjoying it, not like the other people around them who were supporting them. They were just only focused on the fact that they needed to win.
Yeah.
They're edgy tryhards, basically.
Yeah, like that was, you can't just focus on the winning. And that's kind of the problem. I mean, like that's what I think was sometimes too intense about Rhea, as a character. I sometimes like I get like later you got her reasons for like why she was doing it, but at times like she was just too focused on it.
Yeah, because she's like, dude, her ass did not need to do a backflip over the first years.
That was extra. That was too much.
It's such a fucking like fuck you.
I'm surprised like they're friends now and they're cool with that. After that, I would have been like, nah, man, screw you. But, yeah. But I definitely, that's why I definitely enjoyed when she got along with OniMaru and Ruby, and just she smiled because she found out like they're similar. She just is awkward.
Hey, what? You're missing someone.
Oh, I'm sorry. Hold
on. Okay.
Yeah.
There you go.
You tell your fiance to
stop hating and cope.
Nah, just leave her alone. She's just like that. She's just a hater. So yeah, so I think, in terms of content creation, I think you just gotta like it's like, I don't know, milestones kind of feel like it's nice, but it also feels empty if you're not enjoying it.
Right.
If you're not producing what you like. Like, how would you feel if like you got huge overnight and it was content you like weren't even that into?
Oh, so my Has Been Hotel video?
Oh, is that how you feel about it? I thought you liked that video.
I don't. What?
I never watched it. I don't know anything. I just,
Dude, I made that video in a night and I was like, damn, I'm going to be late on this trend. Who cares though? I'm going to make this and just throw it out there. And then I woke up and that shit was blasting past all these other videos I made. And I was like, fuck.
Because you tapped into toxic WatTheWut.
I mean, was it really toxic me if I was just saying?
No, I'm just meant from the title. Just the
Yeah.
title. 'Cause
Damn.
the title got attention, right?
I think, yeah.
Go ahead.
But like, yeah, I mean, like, it's really just like it's such a thing to me that like, you know, people like there has to be like a both where like you can't just be like, oh, I do this because it's fun, because then you're not taking it seriously, and then you're like, you're just not even trying to improve. So why even bother? Why are you even doing this?
Right.
But then there's also the other thing is like, if you're only doing this for results and like because you want to be the best, then like, are you even doing it because you enjoy it? There has to be like a middle ground.
So what is it? I guess like it's not just fun. It's like fun and passion. Like, cause
Passion?
is it passion? Like, what would it be? Like, what would make you find something fun, but then wanna improve and get better and all that stuff? Like, actually do it seriously and to your best. Because then if you treat it like, oh, this is just fun, then you won't take it seriously.
Shine. It's the shine, OniMaru.
You gotta seek the shine.
You gotta find the shine, the sunshine.
All right. So it's you want to you enjoy it, but you have to have like the reason you're seeking it, and it's like
Yeah, it's because you enjoy it that you're trying as hard as you can.
yeah, because you want to do something with it. You want to turn that enjoyment into something bigger than yourself, something greater.
Yeah, themes.
And I think with that we've come full circle.
Hey, check your DMs.
God.
Just do this real quick.
All right.
It's terrifying, and I don't like that I can do this.
Do what? Oh yeah. Okay. I have. Oh, this is a lot. Okay.
Just pick like 3.
Yeah. Let me see if I can just. Okay. How do I?
You can share your screen, and then you can.
Let's see if I can do that. Share screen. Let's see. All right. Sharing my screen.
Guys, look for his porn folder. It's probably.
I know it's not there.
It's not there.
It's not there. I did well to hide it.
So you know what's crazy is that like I probably could keep talking about this, like I would not be able to stop. This was like a thing on the Weeb Club when we were doing the Go and Log On episode. They had to stop me from talking in order so the episode would end.
Well, I'm stopping you soon, so don't worry.
Okay.
But this isn't letting me share my screen.
Oh, it's not?
No,
Well,
I think I have to do some settings. So
the game's sorry, Kage Pro. The game's over.
You know what? I'm just gonna, I don't know. Let's see. All right. No, you have to see it. I can't describe it to you, and you're gonna get it.
Yeah, I have to see it.
We'll play this again sometime.
Yeah, we'll play this again later.
Yeah, once.
It's unfortunate.
Yeah. I mean, I could DM it to you.
Okay.
I mean, is that more?
I mean, like they won't see it, but I'll just make you just.
I mean, you could share your screen.
Okay, sure. Send
right?
it.
You were able to share it before?
Yeah, I can send it, share it. Try it. Watch this.
All right. Where's that from?
All right. Peace. Let's see. That's definitely probably.
I guess we should play Jeopardy music while we're waiting.
Oh no. Hold on. I got it. I had to like.
All right, I'm gonna add it. All right, there you
I
go.
don't think I'm gonna expose myself if this is wrong.
Where is this from? I really need some music. Hold on. Nope, that's not right.
I guess not right either.
Let's see. Nope.
Fucking. Oh my god, no. Okay, fuck it.
Where is this from?
No, Jesus Christ. No, you're weakening my brain.
All right, wait. Okay. I'm gonna power you up. What the what?
Okay. You know what? My brain melted now. So I was gonna like this is gonna be my shonen hero moment.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden, like you like melted my brain with sound effects, and then what?
Miracles don't happen, man. The universe says no.
Failure.
No shonen protagonist moment.
Yeah, this looks like it's season 1 though, probably like episode. I would say because she's sitting down there, it's not 6. I don't think because no. Okay, so I'm probably wrong, but I'm gonna say it's season 2. If it's not season 2, episode like 6, then I'm probably gonna die. Yeah,
All right,
Kageko's already making fun of me. I'm already
final
like,
answer.
Yeah, I'll say that.
All
I'll
right.
take it on this one. Give me another one instead.
Audience, we need a fact check on that. Can someone be?
I already know it's wrong because it's probably not right. I'll just say season 2, episode 6, and if I'm wrong, then who cares? Give me another one so I can feel better about myself.
All right. So, nah, I think this last one's too easy. Let's grab this one.
I already know Kagepro is about to fact check me right now because she's the one who supplied them.
All right, you're next up.
What the fuck? What happened?
Are you looking at the papers to find the date?
Wait, what the hell is happening? Why is it so big?
I don't know.
Okay. Well, we'll look at the papers to find out the date. Is that what you just said?
Yeah, you're just like closing up. You're like, where's the date?
Gonna go on a whim and say episode.
I thought this was top of mind. What's going on?
Huh?
I thought this was like lightning, you know? Like
It's not sometimes for things like this, right? I guess say season 1, episode 5.
Just give me Darling in the Franxx screenshots. I can tell you where everything's from.
Well, guys, that's because you're horny.
No.
That's
I
because
just watched that show too much. So what happens when you make videos?
Here, I found it. It's
Multiple videos.
I found where it. Never mind. I just saw Ruby on my feed. Never mind. Let's end the game. Let's end the stream.
Yeah, game's over. We'll do a proper game once you've trained, freshened up.
If I want to train, freshened up, and have my mental state threatened by like what the sound effects you're fucking doing to make me lose my concentration. Don't do it again. Okay, you know what?
All right. And that's it. We've come full circle. Thank you guys for joining the stream. Thank you for being on, Mr. WatTheWut, Mr. Love Live himself.
I hate life.
He hates life. This concludes our two-parter where we watched each other's favorite anime. He rewatched Evangelion. I watched all of Love Live. Angel Dranger is happy that this is over. And yeah, so maybe we'll catch WatTheWut again in the future for some other fun game shows or podcasts. And I'll be streaming next week, same time. Well, no, actually, no. Today was Sunday. So next Saturday at 2 p.m. All right?
Man.
So I'll see you guys later.
Imagine hating Love Life.
Yeah.